All right, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to episode 95. Welcome, Landon Bentley.
Thanks, man. Thanks for
Thanks for
having me.
making the trip up from Kentucky.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we were just talking episode 95. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
5 away from 100.
Bro, you're doing
4 away from 100.
You're doing awesome, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You're doing awesome.
So we started off everybody here recently with a bio here. So we'll do a quick bio of you here real quick. So tonight I'm honored to sit down with former U.S. Staff Sergeant Landon Bentley, a combat veteran leader and someone who has turned personal hardship into a mission to save others. Landon was born in Ashland, Kentucky, and raised in Ohio, where early life challenges, including loss of his father at a young age, helped shape his resilience and sense of purpose. Combined with the events of 9/11, those experiences drove him to join the United States Army. After completing basic training at AIT, Landon deployed to Baghdad, Iraq from 2005 to 2007, serving in both personal security detail and engineer reconnaissance roles. His service in combat earned him the Combat Action Badge, along with multiple awards for leadership and performance. Following his deployment, Landon continued serving through recruiting assignments before transitioning out of the Army. Like many veterans, the transition came with significant challenges, including struggles with mental health that would ultimately change the direction of his life. Instead of letting those struggles define him, Landon turned them into purpose. Today, he serves as the president and executive director of Warrior Ridge, an organization dedicated to preventing veteran suicide and helping warriors rediscover meaning, connection, and hope. He's also a proud father to his daughter, Olivia, who he credits as the driving force for his life and recovery. Tonight, we talk about combat, transition, mental health, resilience, and what it really takes to fight the battle against veteran suicide. Please join me in welcoming Landon Bentley to episode 95 of Pours with Patriots.
Thanks so much for having me, man. Appreciate you very much.
Yeah, welcome. And thank you, Tim, for connecting us.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Yeah.
And so we'll start off with a quote. This is from one of the participants that were at, what do you call them again?
We call them attendees. Yeah, we call them reconnection retreats.
Retreats. One of the retreats, Jesse J. Johnson, he said, "The mission of Warrior Ridge is incredible. Bringing my unit back together has had an impact on my life. I hadn't seen some of my best friends in over 10 years, and Landon and his staff made it happen. They're absolutely providing an amazing service." So that's from Jesse J. Johnson.
Hey, he's a good dude too, man. Yeah.
So, like all podcasts, we'll start about growing up. So you grew up in Ashland, Kentucky?
I was born there.
Okay.
Mainly I went to Laurel Elementary in Kentucky there until first grade, and then moved to Wheelersburg, Ohio in second grade.
You still got a Kentucky twang though
Yeah, dude, I've been living there since 2019. So that's what I hear. I even lived up here in Columbus for a while, so.
I still think you got this Kentucky twang going. It's all right.
I like it, man,
So you moved to Ohio.
Second grade. Yeah. And then I ended up graduating high school. I left for a little while, went to Boone County, Kentucky. That was fun, man. Went to school down there for a little bit, then came back to Wheelersburg High School and ended up graduating there. So
let's talk about the hardship, growing up. I mean, losing your father at age 13.
Yeah, man. I was in seventh grade. That was rough, obviously. Like my dad was like great shape, didn't smoke, didn't drink, like made us eat healthy, and then dropped dead of a massive heart attack at 38 while he was working out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he was running on the track, like my high school track, and dropped dead of a massive heart attack. Later on in the years, I talked to one of the firemen, and he said, "Man, your dad was probably dead before he hit the ground. Like it was massive."
So what impact did that have on you, though?
Big time, man. Big time. And I guess I didn't realize it until years later, right? Because at the time, it's like, obviously I'm sad, but you don't realize how much that affects you until, you know what I mean? You get older, and then you start realizing things. It's like, man, like maybe that did affect me, Like even like I had an ex-girlfriend, right? And she told me one time, she was like, because she went to school with me, graduated and everything. And she said, it seemed like you were like the nicest guy. And then like after your dad died, like you wanted to fight everybody and you were mad all the time. You know what I mean?
Well, were you?
To me, I guess so, man. Looking back, I was a jerk, in school, and I feel bad. And to be completely honest with you, I even met a guy years later that I graduated high school with, and he was like, "You ruined my life, man," because I made fun of him and I picked on him, and you know what I'm saying? And that makes me feel terrible.
Yeah.
Like it really does now. So now I try to pay it forward and be a good dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So there's any other siblings?
Yeah. I got an older brother. He's 5 years older. Great dude. Great big brother. Like he almost became my dad, man, after, you know what I mean? Honestly, like he was a senior in high school when that happened. So he had a lot of responsibility fall on his shoulders. And I had a little sister. She was only 8 months old at the time when dad passed. So she's doing well, too, but that's my only sibling.
Yeah. So, you're at the prime age, though. 18 is really a tough time to lose a dad as well, too. So, what was the impact on your mom and
So mom,
looking back, now you're in that realm now where you can talk about.
Yeah, I can. Yeah. And I know this is public and stuff, but I just, mom and I didn't have a great relationship. Right.
Yeah.
And I couldn't imagine how hard it was on her. Right. I mean, because I was just a kid. I was 13, right? 12 or 13 years old when that happened. And I didn't realize, how I guess how stressful it'd be for her to losing her partner and things like that. And we didn't get along, man. And still to this day, we struggle, I mean, I don't talk to her much and things like that. But my big brother, like we're extremely close. I mean, he's a great guy, been a great mentor for me, and he's always worried about me still to this day. He's like, hey man, you good? You know what I mean?
So from that, the age of 13, like moving through the, middle school, high school, like,
I had
not having a dad, like what was going on for you?
People ask me that. And I even had people like, man, I hate how you had to grow up. Right. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it was like, man, honestly, like I was a pretty popular guy. I didn't have any rules really. So I was able to drink and I was having house parties and things like, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't have much direction. Looking back, I wish I would have. I wish I would have had more discipline and things like that. But I've had to learn the hard way since becoming, getting older. But yeah, started drinking, started partying, man, in pretty early age.
What age do you think that started?
I'd say 13. Yeah, 13, man. And just hanging out. I mean, I was even hanging out with my brother because keep in mind, he was a senior. I was in 7th grade. So I was like the really cool dude, man. Cause it was like my brother's having like senior parties and then my buddies are like, hey dude, do you care if I come over? You know what I mean? Yeah. So at the time I thought that was like awesome. Like this is so much fun. Right. And even when I was like 15, I remember my mom went to Florida and I was like, well, okay, like where am I going to, and my brother was going to Ohio State at the time. And he was like, dude, you can just crash with me and my roommate. Like, so I lived on Ohio State's campus with him for a while and I walked to Subway. So I had money and stuff. And, so I guess that's not normal. My daughter's 15 right now. And it's like, there's no way that I would allow that. There's no way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so do you, like, when you look back at that, you said earlier that you kind of didn't realize how much you were struggling with it until later in life.
100%.
So was that partying being popular, was that your way just to kind of,
I guess so,
avoid the reality of what, losing the dad who?
I guess so, man. Yeah. Cause he was a great dad. Like he was always taking me to all of my ball practices and things like that. You know what I mean? And just always involved and like a really good dad. And then you just lost that. And then my relationship with my mother was really strained. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I just was off on my own. You know what I mean? And I was always okay. Like I got a Social Security check from where dad passed away. So I always had money. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it was okay. Like I ended up having my own apartment in high school and stuff and ended up graduating. I got to give props to my high school too. Like Wheelersburg High School, it's a special place, man. I don't know if they like me too much. You know what I'm saying? But I remember my senior year.
They let you get through it.
Oh, dude, like my senior year, like I remember I had English first period and they were like, dude, like if you don't show up to school, like you're going to fail. Like you're not going to graduate, And, so I just, they ended up switching my schedule around where I'd study hall first couple periods of the day, So, so if I was tardy or whatever, it was hard for me to wake up, man,
So do you think they were conscious of what was going on with you, or was it
100%? Yeah. And I got to give a shout out. There's a guy, and I haven't seen him in years and years and years. And man, I hope he sees this. But his name's Gary Bailey, and he was my junior high football coach. And that dude, like, it didn't matter if I was a senior in high school, years after dad passed, he would pull me off to the side and, hey, man, what's going on with your grades? Like, he would light me up. You know what I mean? And looking back, it was like, man, that guy was a great dude. Like, he cared about me, and he didn't have to. He didn't have to at all. Like a lot of guys, like my principal, I didn't get along with him at all. He tried to expel me a couple of times. You know what I mean? And, so it is what it is. But yeah, I had some and some of my buddies' parents, right? Like, man, I look back now and it's like, wow, like they really did care about me. You know what I mean? So I thought that was super cool, man. So
it's just yeah. I mean, that's a tough time, for like, a pivotal time for anybody's life to lose a dad, and especially like a parent, suddenly like that. It's, it's it has effects. I think, like you said,
for
thanks
sure,
for being honest about it. Like, you realize that, like, at the time everything's okay until it's not okay.
Yeah, I thought it was fine, and people's like, you okay? And I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm good. You know what I mean? And I wasn't, but I thought I was, right?
So you think you've ever agreed to his loss?
Yeah. I mean, I'm okay with it. Like I know things happen, right? And I miss him every day, obviously, but it gets easier over time, not real sure what the reason for that was, great shape, like didn't make any sense, and now, I guess it's kind of bad for me too. Cause at the same time, people's like, hey man, you don't need to be doing that or something. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't matter, man. You know what I mean? You can take care of yourself. You might die still, right? Yeah. So I've always lived my life kind of like that. So I've been called wild a lot. You know what I mean? I've calmed down tremendously within the past several years. After I really hit rock bottom, it's like, all right, dude, like get your life together, man. What are you doing? You know what I mean?
So what, besides, drinking, partying,
just drinking,
sports
man.
at all?
Yeah. Like back in school, man, I played football and baseball and stuff. And it was a lot of fun, man. I like that. But then, you know, after like once I got into high school and got a little older, like I didn't have any direction. So I ended up like quitting. And it was like, I just don't even care about it. I just wanted to drink and chase girls and stuff, man. That's, you know, that was my big thing. And I had a ball, like, you know what I'm saying? I was always pretty good at sports and stuff, man. I love it. Like I've coached now and stuff, you know, and it's a lot of fun. But I just, I just kind of lost my way there for a while, man. In the military, like, dude, thank God I joined. Cause I mean, several of my buddies that were my best friends in school are OD'd and dead now. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So thank God I joined, man. Honestly, that saved me.
So you're one of those guys that time frame we've had, you know, a few guys on that, you know, a significant event happened to you and you know, pivotal time of your life, 9/11.
Oh yeah, so, dude, that changed everything.
Yeah. What you know, when that happened, you said that was like one of the driving forces for you joining.
100%. Couldn't wait to get to war, man. Couldn't wait. I was like, I just want to go overseas. That's it. And I was like mad. Like when I got out of AIT, man, I was like sitting there thinking like, man, well, I want to go right now. Right. And they're like, well, no, your unit's gone. And it's like, okay, well, how do I go? So I ended up finding a way to volunteer and they actually transferred me and put me on a different mission. Yeah.
So what do you like looking back now, you know, we'll obviously talk more about, you know, hitting rock bottom, but like, where do you have that like, you know, you're so gung ho to go to war? That's not a normal mindset.
Started at an early age, obviously. My dad was a soldier as well. You know, he was still in. He was getting ready to retire when he passed away. Both my grandfathers were veterans, both Army, and my grandpa Jack, my dad's dad, he was actually a prisoner of war in World War II in Italy. And so I was like always like, wow, man, that's cool. I never heard him say one word about it ever. You know what I mean? I've just heard, you know, my dad would say something or my uncle or something like that. And I just thought like, man, what a man. You know what I'm saying? Those dudes were men. And you know that, man. I mean, those guys were men. And, you know, like I always guess I knew I would join. And my older brother, like I said, I look up to so much, like he joined and it was like, all right, dude, I got to do it. Like he went to Iraq, really early. I think he got home maybe in 2004 or something. I don't even remember when he went, but he went really early. And he told me, he was like, dude, like, you don't have to do it, man. Like, you don't have to, you know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, dude, I can't wait, you know? And like, I'd go back right now if they'd let me, you know, but I'm getting old, you know what I mean? They don't want me anymore.
Yeah, I'm a little different than you. I have no desire to go back at all.
Yeah, I would.
But so let's talk about, you know, 2004, you know, you go basic AIT engineer, right?
Combat engineer.
Yeah. So, you know, head over to Iraq pretty quick.
I
think you said like 19, 20 years old.
Yeah, I was 19, like pre-mob stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think I turned 20 and 21 in Iraq. Yeah.
So when you get there, are you like
scared to death, man?
Yeah. The reality sets in. I was just going to say, like, you're eager to do something. Like, what was that like? Finally, you're there. You're 19 years old. You know what you wish for came true. What's going through your mind?
Yeah. So I was one of those dudes. I'm sure you've seen them. Like, thought they were the toughest person that ever walked the face of the earth. And I can't wait to get over there. I'm going to kill so many people and this and that. And then you get there, and I remember the day I landed. It was like, holy shit! Like, we're really here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in Baghdad, Iraq right now. And my whole mentality changed, man. Yeah. It was like, I'm scared to death right now, but I was ready to rock still. I really was. Like, I was excited about missions. We ran a lot of missions and stuff. And that was a lot of fun, man. I mean, for me, a lot of really scary times and probably one of the worst times of my life. But at the same time, it was like, man, I don't regret it the least little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Honestly. Like, and I remember telling myself, I've asked myself that so many times, like, dude, wonder what you would be like if you never would have went, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I remember saying that. Like, I don't say it anymore, I guess, but I did a lot, you know. So
that deployment, like, what moment like sticks with you the most about it? You know, that really kind of,
man, there was
hold on to still, like, you know, like, you know, there was you know, good, bad, or whatever. Like, what really sticks with you on that?
Yeah, man. There's an incident that I think about every day, and that really bothers me tremendously. A lot of guilt that goes with that incident, I guess. You know what I mean? A few guys got killed and things like that, and you know, I guess we got stuck out there, right? And like they were coming to get us, you know, and they ended up getting pretty jacked up. And I felt like, man, maybe we should have just took our chances and got out of there or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But you know how it works, man. The command's coming down and you do what you're told, you know. So that's something that's really bothered me. And I've talked to my team leader about it. You know, he was absolutely hands down the best leader I've ever had in my entire life. And his name's Greg Hershey, great guy. And that dude, like, he said, no, man, I don't feel bad about that. Because he said, if we would have got the call, if the tables were turned and they said, hey, you guys got to go get these guys that are stuck out there. He said, you know, we would have been more than happy to do that, you know? And he was like, so yeah, he was like, they were doing their job, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So at a young age, you know, you're eager to go do this. You go there, you start to see what it really is, which isn't, you know, anything to do with,
it's not,
what the movies are, like what you thought it was going to be.
Exactly.
You know, you start seeing that, you know, you're losing, you know, people in your unit.
Yeah.
What did you start to learn from that, the point about yourself that you carried on from it?
Man, honestly, looking back now at an older age, like I'm pretty proud of myself, man, because I was so young, so immature. Like I know I was, and I was a punk. Like, even my team leader, he's like, dude, I didn't want you on my team. Like, he's like, I tried to get you off my team, He really did too. And then he told me I was one of the best soldiers he served with. So that was like one of the best compliments I ever had. But at the same time, man, it's like, I guess I'm pretty proud of myself because I did it, right? Mm-hmm. And even on mission, like some of my other teammates, I was on a small team, 12-man team, and they were like, dude, you're crazy. Like you're nuts, man. You know what I'm saying? But I take that as a compliment. It was like, yeah, man, I went to war and I was like the wild one. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but it's interesting to say that because I like, is that because of, what happened with your dad? Or are you just living,
Probably.
Like here? Are you just living on just a thought that, hey, anything can happen to you, so just fuck it kind of thing. Is like, have you ever thought about that?
I think exactly that. That's how I've lived the majority of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it, man. Like I could just, whatever. You're going to die. There's nothing you can do about it. It's going to happen. So why sit around and worry about it? Go do what you do, man. Try to help the world, right?
Yeah.
I believe that with all of my heart, man.
Yeah.
I really do.
Do you think that's ever hurt you?
Yeah, 100%. I've made really bad decisions throughout my life sometimes, man. And there's no question about that. And, people, I've had a lot of good people in my life throughout the years. That's, hey man, maybe not do this. Like, let's work on like drinking was one of my big things. I had people for years, like not now, you know what I mean? I'm doing really good now. Like,
how many days sober are you?
Oh man. Yeah. I haven't been drunk and I don't really know, man. It's been a long time.
Have you stopped drinking or just,
yeah. So I'll have a beer here and there, you know what I mean?
Awesome,
but
man.
I mean, honestly, like just the other day, I was with some guys and they were laying it on pretty heavy. And I drank a few, man. I drank, I think 2 or 3 beers. And then I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm good on it now. Like I really am. And that's a good feeling, man. Cause I drink a good 5th of whiskey every day for years, man. You know what I'm saying? And I got tired of waking up miserable. And
yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I don't have that. I ever had a drinking problem. I just had it, I used it to, cope with stuff that I couldn't deal with. Man, it was a numbing thing for me. It was it was like that social thing. It was that.
It was sleep, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, yeah, I guess I did use that too to sleep as well. Try to, if you could, but it wasn't really quality sleep. The next day,
oh, you're miserable.
You wake up, you feel awful,
and then you have to slam a few shots to feel normal again.
I never did that though.
That's what I did.
I haven't been. I haven't been that where like I can't like I hear people say that. I've never.
Oh, dude.
In the morning. I mean, that's not true. I mean, I did have an incident where, like, when I was the hair of the dog.
Yeah,
like, I've done that, but like, I don't think I was at that point ever that I was drinking that much. It was more just to kind of numb and not be present and not, just kind of numb how I was feeling.
My alarm would go off in the morning and I'd wake up so incredibly miserable.
Yeah.
So I'd just slam a few shots or something like that, get in the shower, and then it's like, all right, man, let's do this. You know what I mean?
So you come back from Iraq. When did you meet your ex?
My ex-wife, I met her pretty quick, man. We got back in 2007. We got married in 2008. We were married for a few years before we had our daughter. I had a stepson. His name's Braden, man. He's awesome. Like, don't talk to him much anymore. Like, I haven't talked to him in a long time, and I would love to. Like, he's still my boy, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he was really young, and miss him, man. He had a great impact on my life. He really did. And I just always hope he does so well, man. My daughter, great relationship, man. She's freaking awesome. Like, I couldn't have been more lucky. Like, really good grades and good athlete and just a good, stellar kid, man.
How long were you guys married?
We're married for 8 years. Yeah. Together for 8 years. How was
that 8 years?
It was completely miserable, dude. Yeah. And I'm not just, I know most people.
No, I mean, like, this is your story, man.
Yeah, man.
Like
man.
Don't feel obligated to not tell the truth.
You're good, dude.
No, I mean, no reason.
It was miserable. It was miserable. Yeah, we fought, screamed and fought the whole time. Miserable. I got accused of cheating every single day. It was just, it was the worst relationship you could possibly imagine, probably. We definitely were never meant to be together. That's 100% for sure, dude. Yeah. And we still don't get along to this day. And it's just like, we've been divorced since 2017. So it's like, what the hell's the problem? Like, let's, leave me alone. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
you come back. Where were you stationed at that point?
So first came back, man. I think at Portsmouth, Ohio, man. I got a recruiting position in Portsmouth, Ohio. And that was all right, man. I didn't do well. I wasn't ready for that. I shouldn't have done that. But my dad had a buddy that he was in with that was the command sergeant major for recruiting at the time, right? So he called me up, and I know him as Mike, but he was command sergeant major Belcher at the time. And he calls me up and he says, "Hey, buddy, you want to be a recruiter?" And I needed, you know, I was like, what am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? So ended up doing that, man. And wasn't good at it, drinking every day. Ended up getting fired from Ohio, man. They like pretty much kicked me out of Ohio because I was drinking too much, and got into it with a few people, things like that. Transferred over to Kentucky and did pretty well there. Met a lot of good guys, a lot of good buddies there, and did all right, man. And then I think I was in Kentucky for like 5 years or so, man, recruiting, and it's awful, dude. Tried to get transferred out of it. I don't know if you ever did any recruiting.
I did not do recruiting. Thank
Bro,
goodness.
like it's the worst job in the nation, man. Yeah.
So let's go back to, if you want to talk about, let's go back to Ohio. So you know, you're
drinking, man.
You're in a, like, you're drinking a lot. What's going on for you at that point? I mean, are you
drinking, fighting? Fist fighting a lot at bars and stuff like that, you know, getting in a little bit of trouble here and there. Nothing major, dude. Cops would normally be like, yeah, man, appreciate your service, and kind of let me go. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so if you look back and like what was going on at that point in your life, what are you
just honestly, like, it was like, yeah, I just went to war and came home, but it was like, I kind of fell back into like, all right, I'm just going to party again. That's what I do. Right. I'm good at partying. So that's kind of what I did, right? And I was just drinking and stuff. And, you know, my ex, like when I met her, that's what we did. We were just drinking and, you know what I mean, partying and stuff. And it was like, man, you got to get your shit together. And I had, like, I remember my first sergeant at the time, like, he was just a great dude. His name's Doug Reed. He ended up getting jacked up in Afghanistan, got an RPG, like, straight to his chest, dude, and like pretty fucked him up pretty good. And, but just one of the best dudes you ever meet. And he was like super concerned about me. Like, he wasn't just lighting me up and yelling at me and driving me into the ground. Like, he was like, dude, let's get you right. You know what I mean? Right. So I think he knew, but, you know, if you remember, dude, like at that time, like PTSD and like things like that, they didn't talk about it. It wasn't a thing, right? You went to war, you came home, it is what it is. And so like me having a drinking problem, instead of them being like, hey, maybe this dude has an issue, let's try to help him, they were just like, oh, he's a piece of shit, let's kick him out, right? Yeah. So that's kind of how I see it now, you know. So I didn't have a whole lot of respect for some of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it before we got on there. Is like, I think there's a lot, you know, that's a, you know, a good way to have it. But the other thing too is we have to speak up for ourselves. You know what I mean? And know what's going on. So like, you know, if you know, we're acting out and doing these other kind of things, you know, it comes to a point where we're not following the rules. We're not, you know, and we're not being like a good soldier. We're not being like 100%. A good person. And like at some point, you know, we can't, you know, for me, I'm not going to lie that I've never used that as my, you know, justification of doing things, but, you know, it got a point in my life where I was like, yeah, it just doesn't, you know, that story's not working for me anymore because I can, you know, some people are still giving me a pass, but like when I'm really like,
well, I never said it.
Yeah, I didn't say it either, but it's just, you just see it like,
and I was like that dude, if I had like a buddy calling and they're like, dude, I'm struggling or something, I'd be like, dude, man up, like push through. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But like when you said like, you know, if you, I'm, you know, we don't have to talk about this, but it's fine. But
you're fine, man. Yeah.
You know, when you talked about, you know, partying and, you know, and the cops and all, get people involved and thank you for your service. So that's pretty much them saying, okay, we're gonna let this guy get away with something based on what they've done.
100%.
And, you know, and a lot of that is like, you know, I have that's, you know, co-signing my bullshit. You know what I mean? You don't have to lay that card down and play it, you know, actually play it. But like you're holding that card in your hand, like you're holding, like I had it that I was holding that, you know, these cards in my hand. And
like I'm allowed to get away with this.
Sometimes I played it, sometimes I didn't. People just knew I had that card to play it. And it got to a point for me where I was like, hey, I can't, you know, I could do that. I could get away with things. And then when I had a time for myself, that's why I started thinking like, what am I doing here? Like this, that's where the internal struggle for me started. It's like, hey, I know I'm not supposed to be doing this. I know I'm full of shit. Yep. You know, I know that I'm just doing this because of something else, right? Like
$1,000,000%.
Yeah. And that's that, you know, that was
you've got to accept responsibility. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the big thing for me is like all those things that like, you know, everything that happened to me, you know,
and I agree.
For my whole life, I can,
I always felt sorry for myself, right? I was always like, why is this happening to me? Why is this, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I get it. I mean, like if you're honestly, like you have to,
it's hard to say, but
you peel back then, your dad's 13 years old and he dies all of a sudden, and then you're left with a mom who you don't have a great relationship with. Sure. And you got an 8-month-old sister. Yeah. And a brother who's getting ready to leave you. Yep. Well, there's a lot of like, why me? Right. Yeah,
dude. I felt sorry for myself. And even like after Iraq, right. It was like, a lot of things that's happened to me in my life, I'd feel sorry for myself and stuff. And finally, thank God, right? Yeah. That I've realized like, all right, dude, like, what are you going to do about it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I'm with you 100%. I just think that's that thing of like going on is that like that, all that stuff that's happened was that time frame of like, I only brought it up because you mentioned about, you know, PTSD and all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, the organization wasn't down with it. You know what I mean? It wasn't something
not
that
at
was
that
going
time.
on.
It was
no,
not,
but it was.
yeah.
But we had the opportunity to speak up for ourselves and say we were struggling. But
%1,000,000%.
what did we do?
Well, I think you were supposed to at that time, right? Like self-report or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it wasn't conducive to it,
but
right?
I didn't think I had a drinking problem.
But there were people that did, though. That's the thing. If you look back, there were people that were addressing this. There were people that were like, I have a problem with this.
I guarantee.
You know, a lot of the people that didn't have a problem, you know, that pretend they didn't have a problem. You started getting into numbing things like, you know, drinking.
Sure.
You know, that's the best numbing thing that's in the military to numb out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
To forget about what's going on. And you know, what I mean is like the personal responsibility just comes from like.
I think maturity, man. Right?
Yeah. Well,
like,
it just. I mean, I think when I look back and that it took me years to find this out, but like. I should have spoke up a long time ago, right? I should have been honest with myself, and I wasn't honest about how, you know, when I came back. I mean, it actually for me, when I trace it back, when the biggest thing for me is like I don't like to talk. I may have talked about on this, but like the heavy hitter to me was like leaving my son. My first son.
See, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah,
I had no kids.
When I went to Korea, I left my wife pregnant. I saw my first son for like 21 days of his first year of life, and that really like I had to pretend like that wasn't a big deal.
That's a huge deal.
And I just had to keep, you know, and that was what started. That started that whole like, I don't want to do this. This isn't really worth it.
Right.
Oh yeah. I'm really struggling with this.
Well, it's
like,
unreal how much you love that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just all this stuff is like it's you know all the things I'm getting, you know, aren't really worth it. But I just doubled down and said, okay, fuck that. I can't mention that. I got to start doing different things. I'm just gonna be what they expect me, not be around work, you know, become a workaholic, throw myself into,
sure.
You know, like, I mean, I left there.
That's how you adapted.
Yeah. I mean, I got back I got back from Korea, and I think I was in command in like, you know, within 18 months or whatever. So the whole into like, you know, a cycle that you're not around, like all of a sudden, like now then I had a second kid who was 3 months old, you know, born while I was in command.
I couldn't imagine.
And so those things, but that's what I talk about. It's like, you just don't, you know, when people ask me about it, I had to pretend like I was okay.
100%.
And I really wasn't.
I guarantee it, dude. Like I've said that a million times. Like I'm super grateful I didn't have any kids at the time on my deployment, because I know how much I love my little girl, man. And it's like, gosh, there's no way I would want to leave her for that long.
Yeah.
You know
and I'm just talking about like,
and then add the other stressors, right?
Yeah.
Like you're leaving your wife
I mean,
and kids, and then you have all these other stressors on top of that, you know? So,
I mean, to me, it was just like, it was, you know, living two lives, really, like a life where I really like, don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed my service. I wanted to do it. I was very proud. I'm so proud of it, but it had some costs in it that you don't really know until you get into it. And there was a point in my life where the costs were outweighing it. And I didn't have the courage, honestly, to say, hey, I have enough of this. I'm done with this. I don't want to do this.
Same here, dude.
Right. And so I just continued to just go all in, right. I just threw all my cards in there, and then like, that just leaves you in a worse space. You know, like it's, you know, I can sit around and pretend that, you know, my interaction with my middle son, Nate, how he reacted to me after seeing him, I can pretend like I can make a joke about that.
How'd that go, dude?
It went horrible.
Like when you got home, right? Like, cause he didn't know you.
No.
And that's so crazy.
I mean,
it's so crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it went horrible. I mean, I can make this, I can make a story and make it, you know, like it's, I mean, what do you expect? I mean, I have it now that I had a lot of like, you know, I blame the military for that. I blame myself. You know, I obviously blame myself, but more, I blamed the system. And like, then it got a point that I had to pretend like it didn't bother me. I had to be like, that's just,
I did that. Yeah.
It just doesn't, it's not a big deal. Everybody goes through that. No, you don't forget that. And my dad has shared before, you know, he came back from Korea the same way. Like it's something that you can't prepare anybody for. I don't think, and I don't want to, I'm not dwelling on it because I'm over it now. I mean, I've come to grips with it. I'm complete with it. But those things hurt. That was just another thing that I just kept putting in this, like, you know,
well, you're a man, right?
But it's a cost thing of like, again, like I couldn't like I said, if somebody asked about it, I'd make a joke about it, or just like, it's not a big deal. It wasn't a big deal to me. Like, you know, and it was a big deal. And then, so in that system of how the military was, if you continue to do that, then, you know, no one's ever going to talk to you about how they really feel either. Like when you start sitting around tables and asking, like, was it rough coming back? And people are like, fuck that, I don't care.
Yeah, didn't bother me.
It brings me back to always memories. Is like when I came back from Korea, it was interesting. So one of my NCOs was coming back at the same time. So we were flying in from Seoul to LA. And then, you know, he was branching off. Like I was going from LA to to Newark. And so his family, he was from the West Coast. So his family, that's where they were staying. So we got off the plane. So we were doing what normal guys did in 2000, 99 or 2000, I think it was. It was free alcohol on the way back, international flight. So we were having a good time. And when we got I got out of off the plane and we were at the gate, he's like, "Hey, I need to go my separate ways." Yeah. Like, we need to go separate ways. So he's like, I'll see you. Like, I've known him for years. And he's like, "Hey, we got to just go separate ways." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, I'm going to get reunited with my family.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I remember giving him such shit about that.
Yeah.
And I look back and I'm like, "What are you talking about? What's the big deal?" He's like, "That." He's like, "I haven't seen my kids." And
that's your family.
I want this to be a private thing.
Absolutely.
And I remember watching, like, I was far enough to watch them reunite, and they, there was tears crying and stuff. And I saw him like 4 or 5 months later, and I just busted his balls about it. And what were you crying for? You're only gone for.
I was the same
for 7 months, but that's the lie that I continue 100%. To live.
Well, it's like trained, right? It's like you're trained that, like, you're fine, right?
Yeah.
From day one of basic training, right? Like, I don't know. Yeah. Did you go to basic or did you go to you went straight?
I was an officer.
Got it. Yeah.
A little different.
So like, sick call, right? You don't do that. You know that. Right. You don't do. I don't care what's wrong with you. You don't go to sick call. Mm-hmm. So like, that's one common misconception, right? It's like, I tell vets that all the time. Like, dude, it's cool. Like, you're all right, man. Yeah. Like, but asking for help, right? Like, it's fine, right? But a lot of times I go back and forth on that. Not, you're supposed to ask for help, obviously. Yeah. If you're struggling, ask for help, obviously. But sometimes that help doesn't come in the form of, "Hey, you've got to suck it up. You've got to figure out a way to make this thing work." It's like, for me, I can only speak to my own experience, I guess. When I went really far down and first went to therapy and things like that, because I was completely against therapy, dude. Mm-hmm. Like, I was like, I'm never doing that, man. There's no way. And and they were, "Hey, Landon, it's okay. It's okay you feel like this. It's normal. It's okay." So in my mind, it was like, well, I can do whatever I want. Like, I'm fine. Like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, realistic now, looking back, like now after years of healing, right? It's like, all right, maybe like if somebody was like, "Hey, dude, like, I know you're having some issues right now. We're here for you, but you still got, what are you going to do about it?" Mm-hmm. Instead of just saying it's fine. Yeah. I mean, do you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think there's two routes. I mean, there's the one route of did I and would I attach myself or go get help from people I knew were going to co-sign my bullshit?
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's all I knew, because I never asked for help.
That's the problem. And I think that's one of the problems that we talk about here, is that you have that, that don't get me wrong, like, we're very, like, people are very calculated. So if I had problems and something was struggling, I was going to go to another, veteran that I knew was struggling, doing the same thing I was doing, and just get co-signed. Like, yeah, fuck that, whatever. Yeah. You're okay. We've done this, blah, blah. So co-signing my bullshit.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And I was very good at that. I was very good at telling that story, being the victim.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too, man.
Right. I was very good at being the victim, right? Yeah. Like, I'm the victim you don't understand. And then, what changed for me is, like, going to Saber Warriors, like, I started to realize, like, don't get me wrong, I was a victimizer as well, but now when I go to get help, like, I'm not afraid to ask for help. I mean, exactly. There's I mean, two of these guys here that I talk to, there's guys that I can reach out to. If I need help with something, I call. Like, but what I expect from those people now is nobody to co-sign my bullshit. Yeah.
So I have that too. Yeah. Like my best friend, like Ryan, like, he's the vice VP of Warrior Ridge, right? Yeah. And that dude and his wife, they both worry about me. Both of them. Like, and then they're like, "Hey, man, like, I've noticed you started drinking a lot lately." You know what I'm saying? And it's like, "Hey, I appreciate that, man." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think, to me, I think it's been pivotal. And I think that's a lot of the things that, if I'm, where, you talked about, in your bio and said some stuff about struggling, and your recipe to fix things is.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think we need each other.
When I look at that, that's the thing. Is like, it's very easy to get somebody to co-sign your shit. Like, and that's where we go to.
Especially when they're partying with you, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you're in
it's
that,
like, you're good, dude.
But even not even partying, it's just like, if someone calls right now and, like, if I'm calling and I'm having a problem with my wife, like, the men I talk to now, it's not what my wife did.
You're getting good.
It's what I did. Yeah. What I'm doing to fix it, or what I did to contribute. So that's the uncomfortable thing about, I think, when you start asking for help, is like, I want, like, I want somebody who's going to be dangerous, right? Yeah. In my life, that's going to say, "Hey, when they see me doing something that I shouldn't be doing, they're going to say, 'Hey, you need to stop doing this.'"
That's like a good,
or like, I'm telling you something and be like, "Hey, this isn't really Yeah, that I'm not flying. That's not flying with me.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing to do because we're used to being the victim. We're used to being, valid, right, and justified about what we're doing. And that only continues to,
well,
it works until it doesn't work. Meaning, like, all of a sudden for me, I knew I was full of shit.
Well, like me, like, right. Like, it was like, I was always even the wild one. Right. So it's like, all right, well, here goes Landon. He's drunk as a monkey again. And he's fighting another fight or something like that. And then it's like, that's just, that's what he does. Right. That's normal. And it's like, it's not normal, dude. Like, you know what I mean? I shouldn't have been doing that. My fault completely. I accept responsibility now.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is everybody is, they're that's what I'm saying. It's the nature of it. And there's a lot of people too that don't know it because they're looking, it's a mirror sometimes, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, they're co-signing you because they're doing the same thing. They're 100%, with you.
100%.
So they got to validate you, like, because if they don't validate you and get behind you, they're making themselves wrong.
100%. Yeah.
So I think that's just the,
and I would surround myself with people that would be like, you're good, dude. Like, let's go do this. It's a good idea. You know what I'm saying? And if somebody was telling me no, I was like, whatever, dude, you're a nerd or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was a jerk, man. It's true.
So you talked about, you got, we could talk more about recruiting. I don't think we need to, but
that was terrible. Yeah. Terrible.
So, I always ask this question in some shape or form, but what was the hardest part for you leaving the Army? Was it, losing your job? Was it losing your identity, losing your purpose, your friends? What was the hardest part about when you got out of the Army?
I think losing my support system. The civilian workforce is the real deal, man. They'll fire you in a heartbeat, or, the people there will be out to get you instead of having your boys, right? Like, you don't have your boys anymore. Like, they're just gone. And, so yeah, man, I had a really good job lined up. Like, I literally started like the very next day. Like, I met some guys, throughout, and I ended up getting offered a really good job. So I ended up just going ahead and just, all right, I'm done. Like, I'm getting out right now. You know what I mean? Right. And so I got out, man, started working, making more money than I ever made. You know what I mean? And doing real well. And then I just kept drinking, kept going down. I was just going downhill, man, not realizing it. I had some buddies like, hey, dude, man, maybe talk to somebody or something. What's going on with you? You know what I mean? I really did. And that was my ex-girlfriend at the time. This is after my divorce. I was dating the girl that I graduated high school with, right? Super sweet girl, man. I messed that one up for sure. But she would tell me, like, there's something going on, right? Like, something's going on with you. Like, let's go take a hike. Like, she really did do her best. Like, and she stayed with me, and I was just a straight asshole, dude. Felt sorry for myself. Like, why do I feel like this? I'm so sad. I'm so incredibly fucking sad. Like, so sad, dude. And then just, I think, let me backtrack just a second, because she kind of talked me into like quit drinking every day. Right. So like, it worked out really well. Like, she was super supportive. Like, she was awesome, man. So when I first met her, and she'd tell you, I drink every day, all day. Like, it's what I did. Right. And that's how I functioned. I'd go out in public. Like, if I was coming here, like, there's no way I could come here without being drunk, dude. Like, back in the day, you know what I mean? Like, no way I'm not talking to some dude. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because I just didn't want to, right? So like, I would drink. And then like, I think that honestly, like, my mental health issues really, really started after I quit drinking, right? And I didn't quit completely. I just quit being hammered drunk every night. You know what I'm saying? So like, whenever I started getting sober, like, I started getting like more and more, I don't know, man, I felt awful. Thinking about things more, like, and I even had a therapist tell me, like, Landon, like, you kind of like just never coped with anything, right? You just stayed drunk for years, and then
you numbed out.
100%. That's what she said, and I never thought about it like that. She's the one that told me that the first time. Dr. Davidson, man, she was a great one, man. And she was like, once you quit drinking, it kind of all came like, here you go. Now you got to deal with this. You know what I'm saying? And so that was really rough, man. So I ran my ex-girlfriend off, just being an asshole, to be honest with you. And then, man, I just kind of realized, like, what am I doing with my life? Like, dude, I'm getting old. You know what I'm saying? Like, 40 years old, man. Like, what are you doing? I was like 35, 34 at the time or whatever. And I was like, what am I going to do? Like, what are you going to do about it? So I was in Wheelersburg, Ohio. We were still together, me and my ex-girlfriend. I didn't have any clue what I was going to do. I quit my job, couldn't go to work anymore. Like, I was just like, I can't. Dude, I stayed in my bedroom for like 5 months. Like, for real, like, didn't even leave. My ex-girlfriend would go get my daughter when it was my time to have her and stuff. And she'd go to the grocery for me. She'd do everything. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so didn't leave my bedroom literally for like 5 months. And I'll say this, man, my family, man, my older brother was always really supportive, of course. Other than that, my other family, my uncles, and, even, people close to me, they just, he said I'm a piece of shit and just didn't want to work. I was just trying to draw a check from the VA. Right. And, That's just not true, man. I've always worked. Like, I want to make money. I want to be successful, right? I don't want to live off a check, right? And but that's what I was told. Instead of them saying, hey, you know, let's support Landon. Like, I didn't have anywhere to go, man. Like, I was getting ready, like, didn't have any more money. I was running out of money, had some money saved up, I was making good money, right? But then staying in your bedroom for 5 months, you're not making any money, right? And I didn't have any VA check or anything at the time because I refused to go to the VA. I was one of those dudes like, nah, dude, I don't need that. I can work. Like, I'm not doing that. And so finally my ex-girlfriend talked me and she's like, you need to talk to somebody. And she's like, I'm not it. Like, I don't know how to do this. You know what I'm saying? So she talked me into going to the VA. I was getting ready. We didn't know where we were going to go. Like, I didn't have any money to pay rent, right? The car got repossessed. Like, it's super embarrassing to talk about. I'm okay with it now because it's like I've accepted it. Like, all right, now, yeah, that happened to me. It's super embarrassing, but at the same time, now you're doing something to fix it, dude. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, like, I got to talk about this to other people. It's like, it's cool, man. Like, you mess up, but what are you going to do about it now? Like, I say that all the time now. And like, so I didn't know what to do, man. So the vice president of Warrior Ridge, Ryan Rowe, he was one of my best friends my whole life, right? We went to kindergarten and first grade together, and then I moved away, yet we always kept in touch, which is kind of crazy, really. So he actually got in his truck and grabbed a U-Haul trailer, came up there and loaded my stuff up and moved me down to Lewis County. And that's where Warrior Ridge is now. And I didn't have no idea what I was going to do. I had no idea. Like, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? So he came down and got all that stuff, man, and moved me down there. And him and his dad was a freaking Green Beret in Vietnam, man. And so Ryan's a civilian, but he was raised by a Vietnam Green Beret, right? So, I mean, solid, like, amazing, like, hero, right? And so they moved me down there. They gave me a horse. They're like, hey, man, we got this horse. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but she's blind in one eye and has anxiety, and we can't catch her. Like, it'd be perfect for you. And I'm like, I don't think that's perfect for me, dude. You know what I mean? But it was, man, because I started going over there every day. I knew nothing about horses. My grandpa had a couple horses when I was growing up. He would put me on them and lead me around or something, but I didn't know anything about farming or horses, man. Went over there, started messing with that horse every day, and just feeding her and stuff like that, man. And that was super cool. Like, get me out of the house. And then my grandpa, actually, this was just all coincidence. I didn't move down there to help him, but he started doing really bad. You know what I mean? He's getting older. He was struggling with some things, had some cancer, had a major surgery, and wasn't able. He was taking care of this farm completely by himself, and he was like 80s, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, lifting these feed bags and doing all this, and you know, and it was just like, hey, Grandpa. It started like, I was like, hey, if you need help like feeding or something, like, I'll lift the bags, I'll help you feed. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll help you. So I started helping him out, and then he just kept gradually getting worse, man. Grandpa and Grandpa, they were a pretty good influence on me. They helped out, you know, whenever I didn't have anywhere else to turn and stuff. And so I started helping out, and then he wasn't doing well at all. And he just couldn't, dude. So I just kind of took over their farm, you know, and started helping, like, doing most things. And it was pretty cool, man. That helped me mentally tremendously, being out in nature. So I'm a huge nature lover. I get called a hippie a decent amount and stuff, but dude, it heals you, man. Like, the sun, like, stand in the sun, let it beat down on you, man. It'll make you feel better. Get out in the woods, like, get out in nature, man. Let nature heal you. Like, it works, dude.
So I want to go back a little bit to when you're talking about, you know, when you stopped drinking the first time, when you were struggling and starting to feel the feelings that was going on.
Yeah. Couldn't sleep, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's, you know, it's something, you know, when you disconnect that, like, numbing thing, I have it that, like, the same thing is, like, if you just disconnect and, you know, like you said earlier when you're talking, like, it was the cycle you're in, like, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to do this. The next day I'm going to wake up. I'm going to feel a certain way. Yeah. I feel the same way about myself. It becomes miserable. A routine. Yeah. Right. It becomes like, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is who I am. And when, you know, I found, you know, and especially with some of them, you know, when I'm working with men about this, is that, you know, when you change that up, that, like, recreating that chaos in your life, right? When we stop recreating that, and now there's, you know, now you got to get in touch with your feelings and how you're feeling. It sucks. Yeah, for sure. Like, my therapist was even like, hey, dude, like, you thrive in chaos. I was told that, I tell people this a lot, is I think it's one of those things, is like, you can continue to do something the same way over and over and get that same hit or that same feeling you get, right? And you know how it feels. Like, I know what that feels like for me. I know that I had this repeated behavior that I would do. I do this. I know how I was going to beat myself up. I know how I felt. Even though it sucked and it hurt, it was comfortable. Like, but to get out of that cycle, and then now to be like, okay, now instead of just yelling at my sons, making them wrong, I'm going to actually talk. I'm going to actually tell them how I feel. Yeah. I'm going to use my words. Yeah. Instead of just, or I'm just going to be okay not being okay about something. I'm just going to just shut the fuck up. Right.
Yeah.
And that's uncomfortable too, because it's not something that I was doing that was comfortable to me. And there's a lot of anxiety that comes from that. And that's what but I tell people all the time, if I had to choose those over again, I choose being okay, not being okay,
100%.
than rather being, back to something that was comfortable, recreating my,
well, I agree.
My drama, recreating, how I felt about myself. So, I mean, I think that's a big step. I like how you said that, because, and you're blatant about it. Like,
yeah, dude.
People, it's true. Because a lot of people say, I think if they're listening and they're like, okay, you stop drinking, your life's going to get better. No, it's not true, dude. Yeah. It got harder. Yeah. Because you're not numbed out all the time.
100%.
You're back in reality, and that's why it can be harder. Like, a lot of people just say a lot of these things that happen is, if you just stop doing this, you're going to be way better. You are, and maybe in the long run, but if you don't address what's going on in your life, it's hard. It's hard to 100%. Stop those things, regardless of how bad they are for you. They blocked out and they numbed a part of your life that you didn't want to deal with, that you couldn't deal with. It probably started when you were 13 years old.
I guarantee it. Yeah. And I never would have admitted that before. Right.
Yeah.
Because even my therapists are like, hey, like, how much of your issues do you think comes from
I'm not
your
a therapist either, but I
neither,
just tell you that, like,
I agree.
I hope you see that as, like, this whole, I think you do, is that's where this starts, is, what happened to 13-year-old, Landon.
That's exactly
is what
that was
projected through
shift.
the whole rest of your life.
Yeah, man.
Until
Absolutely.
It just got too painful that you can't, that you can deal with it.
And I think even in school, like, it made me a jerk, like, right? Like, I feel bad about that, dude. I was like a jerk, right? And like, just drinking and stuff, I thought I was like the cool kid. You know what I'm saying? And now looking back, it's like, dude, like, you had some issues going on.
Well, I think if you look back at, I'm not I'm not a therapist, but society's about looking good. So if I'm partying, I'm life of party, I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Someone can look at a 15-year-old kid and be like, okay, he's okay.
Yeah, he's looking at
him. It's not. I'm not getting on the other person too, but, like, it's what you're doing. You're putting on a mask to pretend, right? Because it's painful for you to say something. It's also painful for the other person to see that as well. So when you put that mask on, it's kind of benefiting both of you. Like, okay, look at me, I'm fine, and then they can be like, okay, he's fine. He's life of the party. He's cool. Everything's
exactly.
Right. So
everybody thought I was good.
It goes back to, again, is like I said before. It's almost like co-signing your bullshit. They're seeing it, and that becomes a winning formula for you. Like, that's how you got through.
Yeah.
Not having to somebody to say, like, what is it like?
And then I just become that guy. You know what I mean?
I'll ask you the question again. What was it like? Right, without saying, if you're open to this answer the question this way.
Yep.
Not talking about what your dad was, how great of a guy he was, all this kind of stuff. How did you feel when your dad passed away at 13 years old? What were the emotions that were going on with you?
I got mad because it didn't make any sense, right? Mm-hmm. It pissed me off. It was like, why? Why did this just happen, right? Mm-hmm. Best dad there ever was, man. I still believe that.
What else were you feeling?
Sad, dude. Sad. I remember my grandparents were there. They went to the hospital, and I was home alone, I think. Maybe somebody was there. I don't remember. And I remember my grandpa, like, ringing the doorbell, and I went down and answered the door, and I would just look at his face. I just knew, like, he was gone. I don't even think he said anything. He might have. Mm-hmm. But I went down to the basement, and everybody was upstairs. I'm just kind of alone, man, to be honest with you. Like,
I felt alone?
Yeah, dude, for sure. Oh, 100% I felt alone. And I think I'm kind of a loner nowadays, and people tell me
we're still back there. Hold on, we're going to go back there. So
okay, my bad, dude.
So you were alone?
Yeah, dude.
What else?
Yeah.
What else did you feel?
So I think just, man, I didn't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, like, I've never had this conversation before, by the way. No one's ever asked me about it like you are right now. And
confused?
Yeah, man, I didn't understand it. I remember being pissed immediately. Like, this is stupid. I probably said that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like, this is really stupid. Why did this happen? Like, fuck. Like, you know what I mean? And then, yeah, man, just being just incredibly sad. Like, just wishing I could just talk to him one more time, man. You know what I'm saying? And I remember it bothered me for a long time, man, because I remember he kind of got on me a little bit. I didn't clean up my room and stuff like I was supposed to. He wasn't mad. He never got like that, but he was.
So were you scared?
I don't remember feeling scared, man, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not trying to act tough. I don't remember, like, being, like, scared. I remember being like, what the fuck? Because
like, what am I going to do without a dad? I don't like, I mean, I'm not trying to, I'm just.
No,
just
you're good. I'm comfortable. Yeah,
I'm just
fine,
trying to get to, like, because these are the things that,
like, what's the root here?
Yeah, because I think, and I mean, I didn't mean to put you on the spot there.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're
thanks
fine.
Thanks for playing along. But
absolutely.
The thing that comes from me is, like, you mentioned being angry, right? So I have it that when I'm angry, there's two things that are going on for me. I'm either scared, right, or I'm sad.
Maybe
Right?
I was.
So
Maybe I was like,
if that's happening to me, if I'm angry, I'm either scared or I'm sad.
I think it was so extreme, dude, that I didn't really know how to process.
No,
it,
I mean,
right? It was
I
like,
mean,
holy
we still don't.
shit.
I
Like
didn't learn
dad,
how to
like,
process until I was
like he just got off
51 years
work.
old.
He just got off work, came home, changed his clothes and stuff, and go run. A lot of times I'd ride my bicycle when he would go run and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And that day I just didn't go, thank God, right?
Yeah.
But like you know, I just didn't. It was just so crazy. I think, man. I still.
That's what I'm saying. Is like
I guess I've never really thought about it, man.
I mean, we can talk about
No,
that.
you're
for the rest of the
fine. You're
podcast, and I'll
fine,
be
yeah.
happy. I'm
You're
happy
fine,
with
brother,
it. But
yeah.
I just think that it's like
if this can benefit
you just
anybody,
have to like
let's do it.
you have to like. I want to benefit you, right? And I'm not trying to.
I get it. Yeah, yeah.
I just think there's like I'm hearing some things that like.
Mhm.
You know, I've just met you, right? So I've known you here for a couple. I was like, you know, initially, like I just see it. I work with it, but like you were like, just like that feeling, like you got to get again, like you know, hey, I just lost a 13. I got an 8-month-old sister. I don't have a mom. Like, why has this happened to me? Like, you start to feel like, why? Like, why is this happening? There's something wrong with me.
Yeah, 100%.
This is oh my God, did I deserve this? Like, what's going on?
Yeah,
like, there's all these things these emotions that we're really not allowed to talk about. And to be honest with you, a lot of people aren't equipped to listen to it.
Yeah, for sure. You got to.
Like, I could listen to. I literally could sit here for the rest of the night and have you process what you're feeling.
Yeah,
and
dude, this is crazy. To be honest with you, man, you're a good dude. Yeah,
and I
you're
generally
good at this
care
because it's like,
I generally care because I think that's what starts what we feel like. People don't want to hear that. People just want to be like you said. We all do that.
So
right? I sacrificed my own feelings of things because I also wanted to make sure that you didn't feel a certain way towards me because I felt bad about myself. I wanted you to think I was okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's
right?
like
I never really like with my dad, the big thing is like, I didn't say a lot to my dad, what was happening with my mom, because I didn't want him. I didn't want to talk about that. I was just like, it's better for me to be quiet. Well, he doesn't have a problem with it. I have a problem if there's something wrong with me. So what am I going to do? Like, I mean, and it's just, it's these things that like, it's anything that you have to like, for me, like, you know, I have a feelings wheel on my phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. It's legitimately a feelings wheel. It's a wheel that has when my needs are being met and my needs are not being met. And there's all these words that go to it because everybody, and especially if you're a guy who's not in touch with it, all we ever talk about is, I used to always say, like, and Josh even knows that. I started many conversations with him and saying, I'm fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
And that's the only emotion everybody ever knew.
That was me
but like
too,
when you look at it, like when I start really looking at it, I'm not
like why?
I'm scared.
Yeah.
Like right now I'm scared. Like I got like that feelings will allows me to look at it and say like, okay, I'm feeling something right now. The default thing for me to be is I'm going to be angry. I'm going to be, you know, all this kind of stuff. I look at it, but it's not just the bad things. It's all the good things. Like, what am I feeling right now? I'm feeling like I can tell you, like every time I'm here, right.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about feelings. Like I feel super privileged. I feel, honored. I feel, blessed. I feel loved. Yeah. That my dad is here.
100%, dude. And he's a Vietnam veteran, dude. So it's like,
but as much as I give him crap about that, like I'm not going to always tell him that, but that's what's going through my head. So I have that emotion of what's going on. So like, if I'm talking to somebody like at the normal level of what society wants to talk about, I just got to be like, yeah, it's pretty cool that my dad shows up. But if I'm being honest and talking about my feelings, right, I can, you know, and it's awkward to, also I don't want to bring that up to him too, because why? Yeah, like I do say that to him, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, what do you start sounding like? People start worried about that. But that's truly how I feel when I see him every time, to be able to do this. Yeah. And I also feel the same thing happened. There's a sense of comfort that comes from it. Yeah. Because I know that he's here. It's the same thing that happens when Josh or Nate are here. Mm-hmm. I feel comfort. I feel like secure. So, I feel safe.
That's your support, man.
Yeah. But those are the feelings. Like you got to you got to communicate what you're feeling.
Yeah. So like with that being said, what you just said about your dad and him being here and stuff, which is freaking awesome, dude. And I know my dad's not here, but at the same time, I feel grateful that I had such a good dad while I had my dad. Mm-hmm. Right? You know what I'm saying? No, because I know dudes that didn't have a good dad, and they're like,
I mean, if I'm being honest with I resented my dad for a long time. Yeah. Him and I did not have a relationship. Yeah. I fucking was pissed at him for a long time.
Do you think that goes back to some of his struggles though?
Oh, I know it. I mean, I'm complete with my dad. I can look at him now and like, I'm fine with it. But like my dad's, you know, in the 70s, like there's a certain time period. Like, I mean, there's probably 25 years
Yeah.
that we talked 20 times,
Yeah.
30 times in that time frame.
Yeah.
Because I was making my dad wrong for being human.
Yeah.
Right. I was
Yeah.
blaming my dad for,
Yeah.
I was, using my dad to make me a victim.
Yeah.
To make me be allowed to do whatever the fuck I was doing. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't to blame him for like, I mean, but that's a lot of people get uncomfortable with that, but that's
you being honest.
That's
dude,
being honest
and
about
finally figuring it out.
Yeah. I mean, but that takes a lot of looking at like now, like the thing about my dad is my dad's a man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like I said this a couple episodes ago and my wife didn't like it, but he just happened to be the one that donated the sperm in my life. He's the guy, like he had me when he was in his early 20s, coming back from Vietnam.
Yeah. Rough.
Like, dude, I like what he did. I mean, I made him wrong for all these things. He was doing the best he could do at the best with his thinking at the time. That's it.
Absolutely.
Right. But what I'm saying is all those things that have happened in time over time, it's like, I used him. I blamed him for all kinds of shit. I blame my mom until I was 51 years old.
And I've blamed my mom for a lot of stuff too. Yeah, absolutely. And could she have been a better mom? Yeah, 100%.
Dude, but it doesn't matter. What's better mom? What's a better mom?
But it's like, what do you like? It goes back to what I said earlier. It's like, what are you going to do about it?
So you said something about your mom. So like we'll go back to feelings. So how you were feeling, right? Regardless of how you felt about your mom, right? Your relationship with your mom.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what your mom was going through to lose your father, to have an 8-month-old daughter, a 13-year-old son, an 18-year-old son, or a senior? Yeah. Can you imagine what your mom was going through?
Yeah, no, it would have been a lot. Yeah.
No, we don't, because we're worried about us. We're 13 years old.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, it didn't even cross my mind. Right at the time, that didn't even cross my mind. Period. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not at all.
Yeah, and there's two options. Like like you put yourself in her shoes. Like maybe that's why she wasn't the mom you thought she was going to be.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, so we still have issues still to this day. You know what I mean? And I don't care. We don't talk really. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's fine. I drive on. I'm doing good. You know what I mean? And that's okay. Like, and I'm not just trying to act tough, dude. Like I promise you. We only get one mom, right? I'm 40 now. Yeah. I'm 40 years old. So I've kind of come to the realization that it's like, all right, dude, we don't get along. Okay. It's fine. You know what I'm saying?
But the question is, why don't you get along? And this is what I'm trying to get. Like, I'm 51.
So, okay.
And I'm 53. I didn't get along with my dad till I'd say I didn't let my dad off the hook until I was 51 years old.
Yeah.
No, it's been the best. Like,
okay. So let me tell you this.
2.5 years.
Let me tell you this.
Yeah.
When I went down, like I told you, my buddy Ryan came and got me, moved my stuff, moved me down to Lewis County. Super small town. It's Vanceburg. That's where Warrior Ridge is, right? Tiny little town. Super cool town. Like I'm not talking bad. Like it's like I've met some of the best people I've ever met in my entire life there. Like awesome farmers and stuff like that. So like when I moved there, I met so many people that was like, man, like your mom talks pretty bad about you, man. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, yeah, she just tells everybody you're crazy and like need help, but you won't get it and stuff like that. And it's like, man, that's not cool, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not cool. But she's going around telling people I'm crazy, right? Like, and it's like, why would you want to why not drive on and figure out a way to live your life happily? So instead of dwelling in that, but how many, you know what I'm saying?
You're her son. Like like you said before,
right? You would think, because you know how much you love like your kid, right? You're like, I would do anything right now for that kid. Yeah, but
it goes back to the two things I told you about.
Yeah,
were you crazy and out of control? From what I'm hearing, you were.
Maybe. I mean, maybe.
Come on, man. Like, I mean, so maybe mom wasn't co-signing your bullshit.
So I was, dude. But there's a lot more, right?
I know, but but here's the thing: the power of that, you can just forgive her.
Because I've had people tell me, like, what you're saying, I've heard that.
You can let that go.
Like, I'm good. I don't like. Yesterday, I stopped to visit my grandmother, and my mom was there. Right, we had a cordial conversation, completely fine. She even texts me like a recipe that I'm going to make. You know what I'm saying? So it's fine. Yeah. We're good.
I'm not trying to.
No. You're good, dude. You're good. And she knows, man. She knows. This has been going on since 13. Right?
Yeah, but like, I mean, a lot of it starts with, like I said before, it's like when that whole situation, with that. Yeah. I mean, you could look at two ways of that. You could say like, yeah, she's talking shit about me. She's not being the mom
I didn't like that. Yeah, I didn't like that.
But she also here's the other question.
At the worst point in my life, talking shit about.
But how many people?
In my mind, I love my daughter more than anything in this world. Yeah. There's nothing even remotely close, right? I would do anything in the world right now if it bettered her, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So to me, would I ever go anywhere, no matter what my daughter, if she committed murder, would I talk bad about her? Probably not. I would support her completely. I would
but-
support her completely.
But I think it's just this is a deep thing that we can get into for hours about it. But
Dude, we just now got way deeper than I thought we were going to.
I mean, what I'm saying in all that is like, I just the greatest thing about the power of all this is like, you can wipe all that out.
I know what you're saying.
You can like all this.
Would I love
because here's
that?
the thing about that is, think about this. If your mom had been telling you this from the bottom of her heart that you were, hey son, I think you're out of control. You've been out of control since you're 15 years old.
Yeah.
There's something going on that you're not addressing. I don't think you would have listened to her.
Yeah. So before I graduated high school, I didn't tell you this. She called the cops on me all the time. Yeah. All the time. The deputies were there. I mean, I don't know how many times she called the cops on me. I have no idea. Yeah. And this is right after Dad died and stuff. She moved, her and her new boyfriend real freaking fast. Yeah.
Well, I'm not trying to get like family dynamics. I'm just saying, like,
and I'm not trying to just bash her, right?
Like I look at it all the time. There were
there's
tons
just
of people.
so much. There's so much, man, that's went on for so many years and still just like, and it's just like, I guess I'm to the point now where like, I get what you're saying. I would love, and I understand, you and your dad's strained relationship, right? For a while. And it's just like, I get it. Like, and it would be fantastic to just live in a dream world and be like, this is fantastic. Right. But with that being said, sometimes you can't fix everything. So you need to decide when it's time to move on and figure out a way to cope with that and get better. Right. And that's kind of where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of where I'm at. I don't sit around and dwell on it ever. I don't wish her any harm. I don't wish her any bad will. Like, my stepdad, she's remarried. He's a great dude, man. Yeah. He's a great dude.
I'm not saying how I have a lot of those things is like, I just, for my, where I'm at in the work I do is like, all my relationships are built off of my relationships with my parents.
Well, that's like the most impactful people in your life, right?
It's usually but it is. It's a sort like whether they died when you were 13.
That's molded.
That's where you continue to build your relationships past that. So that's why we talk about in Saber Warrior, and we're doing and some things. It's like, you haven't noticed I haven't said the word "I've forgiven my dad." Yeah.
No, I get it. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm complete with my dad
for sure.
I've asked my dad for forgiveness.
Yeah.
For making and I've done it like twice now.
Sure.
I asked him to forgive me for making him wrong for being human. I'm not asking I'm not saying, hey, I forgive you. I can't forgive him. Yeah. But what I'm saying in that whole thing with my dad is I don't live in a fantasy world about it. Like there's some times that I still like, there's times that, I talk to, the men that I talk to, there's sometimes that my father, I don't have, it's something that's happened with the past couple of year or so. Is like, I don't have the listening for my father sometimes. Like sometimes when I see my dad, as much as he's here, if something's going on, like, to be honest with you, and people, this is what people don't want to realize is like, or too uncomfortable to talk about it. I flash back to being 15 years old.
Yeah, dude.
And I flash back to when he was 30 some years old and I was fucking pissed off at him. Yeah. And so what he's saying, it's just nothing but like, it's like, I had to stop and say, hey, like, dude, this is not 38-year-old. 38-year-old dad. Yeah. This is a different guy. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I'm the one who's bringing that up. I'm the one that's like, I'm still pissed off about the X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean, and so it's not a fantasy land. It's a tough thing to deal with because there's some stuff that like, but the big thing about it is honestly, like I told him just recently, right, is, and I'll tell him again, like, he did great. Yeah. I'm okay.
Yeah. Like, I'm good.
And thank you for the gift of life.
Yeah. I feel like,
and that's what the power of when you're saying those things you're holding on, regardless of what they're doing. That's how I feel. Like I can. With that being said, I like that I in some way am. He doesn't. I don't owe. He doesn't owe me an apology for anything.
And I don't think my mom does either.
But now we have an understanding together that it's just simple.
It is what it is.
Yeah, you did the best you can. Yeah, and you weren't going to love me the way I wanted to be loved.
Well, and that's like me. So like even now, right? Like I was just, my ex-wife took me to court not that long ago, right? I lost my 50-50 custody. Now I just have every other weekend, right? Judge court orders me to go to therapy. I mean, keep in mind, I run a nonprofit for mental health, right? Yeah. I was already been going to therapy anyway, so there was no reason to be court ordered to go to therapy whatsoever, except for my ex-wife said I have PTSD and I'm crazy and won't take my meds, won't go to therapy. None of that is true. I do have PTSD, right? That's fine. But I've been going to therapy for years now. You know what I'm saying? And there was no reason for it. My sister went to court with my ex-wife to help me lose my week on, week off, which I loved. Yeah, man. So it's just, I guess I'm not there yet with what you're saying. I understand what you're saying,
more
but
off camera. I think we'll dive into it. But
yeah, and that's fine. But
I think there might be
there's still ongoing issues, right? Where it's like, okay, I can forgive you all I want, but if you continue to do this, what, like,
yeah, no,
do you see what I mean?
I'm not trying to side with anyone.
I'm not interested in it.
I'm not trying to side with anyone.
I have no, like, I don't sit around ever, and I mean every word of this, and think about like my mom and the way our relationship is, or it was, or, you know what I'm saying? I really don't. I focus on what can I do to help others now, and that's what helps me. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm saying? I figured out like a recipe. It's like, all right, dude, let's do good. Let's do good things. You know what I mean?
We're both. I mean, you're in a different level. I mean, you're
director. I'm not there yet.
No, you're president. No, you're president. You're president of a nonprofit that's helping. Yeah, I'm a president of a nonprofit that helps as well.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is the most important person for me to help is myself.
Yeah, for sure. And people tell me that, like, dude, you need to take care of yourself.
I can continue to do what I was doing for many years. It's like,
but you're not trying to fix everybody else.
Yeah. No. I mean, I can continue to try to fix everybody else. I can be there for everybody else. But if I'm ignoring myself, like, I'm wearing a bracelet that's pretty simple here. That says "Save One." Mm-hmm. And who's the save?
We say it all the time, right?
Who we save?
Oh, you're talking about yourself? Yeah.
I'm 100% talking about myself.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah.
The best thing I do for my life is to,
So I try every day, and there's mornings that I wake up and I'm struggling bad, and it's just like, I can't do today, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it,
and that's what I'm saying is like those things that are happening is like, all I'm leading you to is like, those relationships, you have to be okay. Like I have to be okay for me to.
I feel like I really honestly, like I can honestly say I don't sit around and dwell on it. Like I'm not just trying to say that. Like I'm not trying to act tough. I'm being super vulnerable, man. Like you know what I'm saying?
I respect you.
Like I'm just like, that's something with my mom. Like anybody that knows me knows this was an issue. Like I went to my 20-year high school reunion. What was that? Last summer, maybe summer before. I don't remember. And like, I remember one of my buddies looked at me and said, "Hey man, your mom's still real crazy." You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, it's just like a thing. You know what I mean? Like,
but that's what I'm saying is it's a reframing of what it is. Like, again, when those things are said about your mom, what would happen if you were widowed with an 8-month-old?
Like I said earlier,
you're going to have a lot of fucking problems.
I couldn't imagine what she went through.
Yeah. I mean,
because I've never been in that position, right?
But a lot of it is like just being like, it's like letting them off the hook.
I'm good with mom. Like I said, we talked yesterday. Yeah, exactly. Like, you see what I mean?
No,
like, I promise you. Yeah. I don't wish her any ill will. Like I would do whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And like my sister, right? Like disagreed with, I love my little sister. Like, love her so much. Right. And it's like that hurt me so much. Cause like I got like a report, like after she talked to the court and stuff, and like what was said, like how they made their decision, what my daughter said about me, that was life-changing, dude.
Yeah.
Right. Cause I'm an asshole. Like when I get mad and I have to want to, I'll do things, and I've never spanked my daughter, not one time ever. I don't hit. I don't nothing like that. But yeah, man, I might wake up on the wrong side of the bed, right? Like, you know how it is, dude. Like some days are better than others, but you just can't let the bad days win, right?
Well, my days are different now. That's what, I mean.
Every day though, you see what I mean?
My life has changed.
Because I think my life has changed tremendously too, but I still have days as soon as my eyes open in the morning where I'm just like,
yeah, but see, like I mean, we're if you like, honestly, we're talking about the pivotal part of my life was, like I had that same way of thinking too. Like, I'm having a bad day. Things are going like that. Means I can be a dick.
I still push on now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I would use it as like a crutch, like an excuse, like, right. Like, oh, well, I'm being an asshole, but I woke up wrong. I'm having a bad day. Like there's no excuse to treat people bad. Right. No excuse.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying is like a lot of it comes to is like, for me now where I'm at is I use that as a justification again. So like, I'm having a bad day. I'm not doing well. So I'm going to be, you have to be cautious. It's okay for me to be grumpy or treat somebody a certain way.
Yeah, I used to be like that. Yeah. I'm not now. Like even when I wake up and it's just like, I'll just feel miserable, man. You know what I mean? Not angry at anybody, but just like, oh gosh, like, man, I feel tired and I'm just mad, kind of like.
But I mean, that's
anger is a big issue of mine. You know what I'm saying?
If that's still an issue, I'm just saying we could talk more about it because I think it's
I know where you're going, man. I know where you're going.
We're like, I feel like
we're like deadlocked
right now. No, we're not. I mean, I'm just telling you how I have it. I mean, like that's the important thing. I mean, I know that there's some stuff that's I'm at a place where those things rarely happen to me, and when they do, I'm very quick to talk to somebody about it and find out what's going on. Yeah. Like, so why am I angry?
Man, if you could answer,
there's just simple stuff, man. That it's just the life I lived of being just irritated about shit, like
just Just small
this is
stuff,
stupid
yeah.
stuff. Like Nate hasn't been here in how many weeks? I can't tell how many weeks, like 3-4 weeks. We'll give him a hard time. Dude, a huge part of me would
He's
be
like, man, what
and
the-
these guys know me
Yeah,
from
you're
these
live
times.
right
Like we think we're joking. Dude, I would be super fucking pissed right now.
Yeah.
Like I would, these guys know that. There's like,
Yeah.
it would, like I think like these two would easily show up and like take the fucking bullshit I was going to give them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I would be pissed about it. Like, but I said
Yeah.
before, the reality of it is like, dude,
It happens. Yeah.
I'm past that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I just told you how I feel. Like when he's not here, I feel sad. I told you what I feel like when he's here. I feel safe. It feels comfortable. Yeah. So that's really what I'm feeling.
Support system.
But I can't walk around and be like, I really like, I people think you can't do it, but I walk around instead of like, I don't have to say it, but I think he knows that now. But I can walk around if I'm not feeling something, say, hey man, I really missed you.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been very sad that you're not here. And in our culture, that doesn't go over well. Mm-mm. But I don't give a shit about
especially
that
with
but the past about
tough,
like living in that anger, these guys have seen it. I'd be fucking pissed. Like he just dropped off. He's not gonna be here for a few weeks.
Yeah.
I think I heard it or said okay. Like it doesn't matter. Like I can get ramped up about this stuff.
It's so hard to find help. Yeah.
It's not even help. I can make it without it. It's not ideally what I want to do. Mm-hmm. But he's like, I can't. He's gonna go. He's going and spending time with his family. They're doing stuff. I'm not gonna fucking you got to do
lock
him down and make him stay here and make him feel guilty about it, because that's what I've done my whole life is like make people feel like shit. Yeah, feel obligated to do stuff.
Yeah.
And then that ends up running out for me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It ends up, it ends up in a place where that's what I'm saying. Like I try not to live in that world much more because it consumed me, to be honest with you. That's the reason why I wanted to eat a bullet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the real reason.
I get it, dude. Yeah.
Right?
It's like enough's enough, dude. Like, I'm tired. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's and
I got there, man. I got there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I know you hit rock bottom. And so let's talk more about, I mean, after the counseling session we just had.
Yeah. I appreciate you, man. I don't know how much that's going to cost me. You know what I mean?
No, but it's,
is this how you guys get donations? I'm just kidding, dude.
What I'm saying is it's just I'm in that, like, that's the world. And I would, we can talk more off camera, but I really think there's a place that might help you, because I know it helped me, and I think it would help you. And all I'm saying is all those things that are that are going on. I can do all these great things, right? Yeah. And I did that for a long time. I was doing stuff for other people, and in the meantime, I was collapsing. I was a mess. I was just not who I was supposed to be, like who I meant to be, and I was just miserable. Yeah, and I just don't live in that world anymore.
I still get pretty miserable a lot, man. I got a lot of work to do. There's no question.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm still going. I mean, me too. I get like, I'm not saying every day is like living in just say fantasy land. I don't live like, I mean, I live in I try to live more in the spiritual world.
I want to be brutally honest, like, you know what I'm saying, like, because I can act like everything's awesome. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I love Warrior Ridge. I love what it's doing. I love helping these dudes.
Well, let's talk more about that. So you head down there to, you moved down there. When did the idea for Warrior Ridge come about?
So that's what happened, right? Like my team leader, found out I was doing real bad, right? And he came down immediately. Like he came down. He's like, I got you, dude. Like, why didn't you call me? He was like mad at me. Like, why didn't you call me? And I was like, yeah, because I'm a grown man. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't going to call and tell anybody I was struggling. I hid from it. Nobody knew where I was. You know what I mean? I just disconnected from the world. I didn't want anybody to know where I was because I was embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? Honestly.
See, there you go. Real feelings now. Now you're
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
I like it now. Instead of saying I'm a man.
But I mean,
because a man is supposed to not, a real man actually tells how you feel.
Oh, no, look, dude, I tell people this every day. And I do that. I'm honest about it, right? I'm not lying about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I'm just having a hard time, man.
So yeah, I know, I got you. But like, here's I tell people that all the time. Like, you got to, right? But I lived like that for a long time. No, I'm good, dude. I'm good. And
me too.
Buddies would struggle, and I was like, dude, suck it up. You're fine. You know what I mean? And now I feel so bad because when I went down, I had so many people there for me, which was super cool. And but yeah, team leader came down, man. Reconnected with him. That was the first time we reconnected since war. I mean, we weren't buddies. He was my E7, dude. He was not my buddy. You know what I mean? Right. But when he found out I was struggling, he was there immediately. He was like, I got you, man. And then my driver from Iraq, him and I has always been really close. Just had lunch with him right before I came here, man, which was awesome. I hadn't seen him in years, And he's a warrant officer, getting ready to retire and stuff. So he's a great dude. And but anyways, he came down, man, reconnected, and then we all just kind of started hanging out. And I realized, dude, these teammates, it was I mean, I don't know how long you went before you reconnected with somebody you deployed with, but it was, how cool of a feeling is that?
I mean, I have not.
Have you not reconnected?
No.
Oh, dude. bro, we're changing these guys' lives. Like you got to come see like right now,
I agree. I mean, I think it's, let's talk more about what the process is. Let's talk about, so you guys bring in and you call them again retreats.
Yeah, we call them reconnection retreats. And we pay for everything. Right. That's the biggest thing, because there's what I Googled it at one point, 35 to 40,000 veteran nonprofits in the United States, dude. Yeah. Most of them do awesome things. Anybody that helps a vet, I love them, right? You do too, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. But some things work better than others. And some things have been around for a really long time, and the suicide rate's still horrendous, right? So like, when are we finally, let's get serious about this and let's figure out what works, right? Because we don't need more pills. We don't need more therapists. We have plenty, right? And they give them to you like candy, right? So it's like, what do you want? Like, you sure you don't want pain pills, Mr. Bentley? Are you sure? You know what I mean? It's like, no, dude, I don't. And so we need each other. And like, who understands what you went through better than the people that were there with you? There's nobody on the face of the earth, right? So to me, when my own flesh and blood was saying he's a piece of shit, he just doesn't want to work, all these vets, like, I got an uncle, like, I don't even care to say it, dude. Like, I'm not trying to bash him or anything, but he tells people, I've had multiple people tell me he's told him that. And he says, all these vets, they go to war and then they just never work again. They just expect a check and we're supposed to take care of them and this and that. And it's like, dude, if you knew. Again, the funny thing about that is he was like union, right? And he like lived off unemployment every winter because he didn't want to work in the cold, right? So I think that's kind of funny. But anyways, like it's like, if you knew what they had to go through, right? And like me as a soldier, like I get asked a lot, like, what'd you do, man? Did you do something? Like they think I did something like crazy cool, like when I was in the Army and stuff. And it's like, no, dude, I was super conventional. Like not a lot happened. Like, you know what I mean? When conflict would happen, it's extremely rare. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we were extremely lucky, dude. We were so lucky. You know what I mean? I believe that with all my heart. And so it's like, I know so many people with my own, and you do too, I'm sure, that did so much and was in such a bad situation that are just handling life like a champion. And then I look at it, it's like, dude, I didn't even do what that did, dude, but I'm like hurting. You know what I'm saying? So that bothered me for a long time. And then I realized, like, with my teammates getting back together and stuff, it was like, it's cool, man. Like, you're all right, dude. We got you. Like, but they understood, like, I can, like you talking about being honest about your feelings and things like that. I can talk to those dudes. Like you talking about Nate and them, like that's your dudes. That's your support, right? Like you feel completely comfortable around them. Right. So like these dudes, a lot of times are in the same situation that I was in. Didn't really have anybody to turn to, maybe not close with your family. A lot of the guys that come to the Ridge, man, they're not close with their family because they just don't get it. Right. It's not really their fault even. Like, it's like, how could you, like, I always compare it. Like a lot of times when I speak and stuff, I'll compare it to like having a baby. It's like, you and I can go to a college class and learn everything there is to having a baby, but we have no idea what that's like because we haven't done that. Do you see what I mean? That's like one of those things that's so extreme. It's like, how do you really understand it? Right. So it's like, I think war is the same. I think it's like, man, it's like sometimes your emotions are so extreme. Like, you know what I mean? Like it would like make you want to vomit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, whoa, that was like too much or something. You know what I mean? And later on, and, so like having these guys together, like it's super cool. Like right now, like, so we find a dude that's like struggling. Okay. Like, and we don't just find somebody and say, hey, we offer this, let's get these strangers together. So I've met so many guys that run nonprofits now, meet them, just on the trail and things, and super just great freaking people, dude. But I got to be honest. I think our mission's the best one in the nation, dude. I don't think anything's even close. We're literally providing them a phenomenal support system. They come in on a Thursday. We pay for everything. So even a real struggling veteran can come. They can participate. Because a lot of times, like we talk. So
how do you said you find them? How's the process? They
nominate themselves on our website.
Okay.
So, and a lot of times it'll be somebody else nominated them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Like, hey man, I got this buddy of mine, or my nephew. I know he's struggling real bad, and they'll put it in. A lot of times it won't be the veteran himself, right? Or it'll just be like through meeting people like you. You might say, hey man, I know this dude. He could really benefit from. And it not only are you reconnecting with the guys you fought with, like not only are you doing that, all expenses paid. And then once a year, like once we nominate a team and they're our team, once a year for the rest of their life, they come back, and that maintains that connection. And so throughout the year, I just talk to them and I make sure they're still maintaining contact. We've had a bunch of instances so far. This is only our third year, dude. And I've had a bunch of phone calls from these dudes like, hey, man, I just wanted to call and thank you because so-and-so was hurting. This happened. We would have had no idea if it wasn't for Warrior Ridge. You see what I mean? So like, it's super cool what's going on, and they're really excited to get back for the following year too. So I think that's really awesome. It makes it challenging for us to add new teams, right? Because we have to have, once we add a team that costs X amount of dollars, right, and then you have to have X amount of dollars for the next year too, and that's without even adding new teams. You see what I mean?
Yeah, so what is like so the Thursday? How long is this?
Thursday, they fly in on a Thursday, they fly out on a Monday, so that way they have a full Friday, Saturday, Sunday together. And man, honestly, like they just kind of sit around and talk. Like we have horseback riding and kayaking and all sorts of stuff, man, that they can do. But with the very first retreat we ever did, like my team leader, he sat down and he said, he like block by block, dude. He's a retired first sergeant. You know what I mean? Like he squared away, like block by block, hour by hour. This is exactly what we're going to do this weekend with these guys. And we learned real fast that's not how it's going to work, because they were just like, hey man, like, is it cool if we just sit here and like talk? I mean, they had like 20 years of catching up to do.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like, and they just want to talk, man. And then when they go home, like we've had them help each other find jobs. Like it's a big deal, dude. And whenever they have each other's phone numbers now, they actually talk. Because Facebook, right? Everybody's, oh, well, I only use Facebook because I can keep in touch with my friends. It's like, yeah, well, hitting that little thumbs up, like that's not keeping in touch.
Yeah.
That's not checking to see if you're okay. You know what I mean?
So when a person gets nominated real quick, like how do you, there's the next step of them to find their unit, or how does that work?
So our leadership, that's super easy to do with social media. So that is one plus with social media. I'm not a big social media fan, but that is a huge plus. It's been really easy to find these guys. Like everybody asks me that, everybody all the time. They're like, how do you find them? Like they're gone. Like I remember like Eastern Kentucky University, like when we very first started, was wanting to like kind of like, I don't know, we talked to him about maybe teaming up a little bit about starting this program. And then I remember the dude like running the military affairs. He was like, I don't know, full bird colonel or something, worked in the Pentagon or something. Didn't really, I don't think he got it. You know what I mean? Like, to be honest with you, like, and he was just like, oh, these teams are gone to the wind. You'll never find them. Like it's impossible. I'm like, yeah, you will, dude. Like, it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? So it's been super easy to find them. Like they'll put a filler out and then so-and-so's got this guy's number and this guy's number and this guy's number. You know what I'm saying? There's been a couple we weren't able to find, you know what I mean? But, you know, and we're all still concerned, like, man, wonder where they are. Right. But getting them back together, man, is just super awesome. So they nominate them, and then our leadership team, like, we get together, who's our next one, kind of like who needs it the most. Right. And let's hurry up and get them together, you know? So I really do, like, when they go back home, they're so thankful. You get to it. It's like a weekend that you get to escape the real world, and you're with your boys, man. Like, this isn't a joke. This isn't like when I was at my worst, like the VA helped me. Like, I know so many people talk so bad about the VA. They hooked me up, dude. Like, I got to be honest. Like, as soon as I walked in there, like, I started getting compensation like so fast. Didn't have to get any paperwork. Didn't have to do anything. You know what I'm saying? It was like so easy for me. I don't know why, but it was just so easy. And so a lot of these guys didn't have that. So when we get them in there, like, they've helped each other with their VA claims and things like that. But just having that and that escape from the world, man, because when you're out there in the civilian world and you have no money, your job, you like not keeping steady employment, like, you just think like, I'm the biggest piece of shit in the nation, man. Like, what? And at one point in your life, you were like, man, I'm proud of myself, right? Like, you know, when you're in uniform and everybody, hey, thank you for your service and things like that, you know. And like, you just, and then that just all kind of fades away. And then you're just a normal dude that never did anything. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt, at least. You know, I don't know if you ever had those feelings or not, but I kind of felt like that.
I think it's, you know, I mean, I have it, you know, the P word, the purpose, right?
Yeah, that's what you lose. I say it all the time.
And I mean, I think, you know,
that's like the ultimate
for the longest
purpose.
time, I was, you know, I tied my purpose into that, and
that's what I did.
Yeah, and that's not what my purpose.
You don't do that. You don't, like, what's your main purpose now? And I know you're asking me questions, but I'm just curious because you seem to have things figured out, right?
Well, I don't. Yeah, don't. You know what I mean? Don't like, be confused. I haven't figured out, but yeah. So I think, you know, I have, you know, I have. My purpose has been driven from what I consider to be declarations now. So I used to have a couple of declarations that I no longer have those anymore. One of them was husband and father, and people get all,
no, dude, that's so
worked
incredibly
up
important.
Yeah, but they're not that's not my purpose.
Yeah.
People get all worked up about that. But
what's your purpose?
I have it now. But, you know, my number one purpose is to come back for other men and work with other men, to really connect with men. You know, to have conversations like this that not many people even want to.
I've never had anybody talk to me the way you've talked.
Yeah, want to have them or listen to them or whatever. Like, but to be able to come back, like today, before today, I've been listening and chatting with men for like 4 hours today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my declarations now are love, happiness, hope,
and brother. At the time when I had the declaration for brother, I thought it meant for, I wanted to have a strong connection with my sister. But again, it's those titles of like that title is definitely, when I said it, was more of being a brother, like being a brother to you, being a brother to Josh, the men that I work with all the time. That's my purpose. So, and that's a lot of things that people don't talk about, like with, and I'll right. Like if I make my purpose, my dad and my being a father, right. The reality is my soon to be 26-year-old lives like 20 minutes from here.
Yeah.
I can't remember last time I talked to him.
Yeah. Yeah. He's too cool. Yeah.
No, I mean, no, he's living his life. He's a 25-year-old dude. He's living his life. Nate's wife has probably talked to my son maybe more than I have. Like, I mean, it's fine. But all of a sudden I start saying they work together, by the way, at OSU. That sounded kind of weird, but
I thought that was
nurses
weird for
together.
a second. Yeah,
they're nurses together. They're not on the same ward anymore, though.
Yeah, and they still talk more than you.
They probably do. I mean, they. But what I mean by that is, if I tie that to be my purpose, like I start to think, like, okay, why am I not hearing?
Is that enough
from my son?
Yeah, like.
Well, I'm not hearing from enough. Then I'm not like I helped him along with his life,
and he's an adult, right? So it's like it's not like he's 4 years old and you have to bathe him still, right? Like,
no, but I mean, I just have it that like I look at those kind of things. That's it's really who I am in the function of what he's always going to be my son. But the reality is he's just a man. That again, like I said before, I just happened to donate his sperm, right? Yeah. He's just another man. He's a 25. Like when I was 25 years old. Right. The last thing I wanted to do was talk to my dad every day. I just told you, I didn't like, I was not calling him and talking to him every day.
Yeah.
I sure as hell wasn't calling and talking to him to tell me how I'm doing things, asking me questions about how my life is going. Like, that wasn't happening. Yeah. Right. So but back to a better purpose thing is like a lot of military people I find, same thing with the warrior classes. My purpose was to be an Army officer. That's what I thought I was going to be. And then once that's taken away, you made that your whole identity and your purpose. And then when it's taken away and all these things can be taken away, the reality is I can be taken away from being a husband.
I think that's why it's so hard to adjust.
Right.
And
taking away as a parent is different. Like I'm in a different stage of life with my kids.
Yeah.
I say kids, they're grown men, 25, 23 and 21, they're grown men.
Yeah.
Like one of them's out of school. He lives.
Yeah.
He's been out of school for, I don't even know how many days. That's what I'm saying. I don't have the contact with him. Like I'm still a dad, but but what I'm saying is that I've had to let that go because that's something that was just driving my mind. I'm not being a good enough, dad.
I think that
I'm not being a good enough. I'm not being a good enough husband. I'm not being a good enough brother. You know what I mean? I'm not being a good enough friend. Like all those kind of things. And it's a different thing when I look at, but that purpose is, that's what I looked at. Like you said it earlier is, there's a large part of my life that I was like, okay, I did all these things that I was really proud of that I thought to be super exceptional,
now what?
That were different. And now I'm just a normal dude.
Yeah. Now what? Yeah.
And guess what? That's life.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
That's hard to deal with. But when your purpose
is tied to something that like, it's just so tied to, that's what I am. That's my identity. I got to be this. I got to be that. I got to be this kind of person. Like, dude, I don't talk a lot about being a veteran much, except for on here. When I'm talking, but I'm not, that's not my identity.
Sure.
Right. I mean, if you were to if you were to go upstairs from down here, I mean, you go to my office, there's maybe some stuff in there, but I'm not like rolling around with the the Afghan,
flag and shit. Like I did this, I did that.
But what I mean is that tying on to that purpose, it happens to a lot of us. And I think the purpose just comes from truly who we're meant to be. And it took me a long time to figure that out. It took me a long time to get to this episode with you to talk to you about this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. Because so how many years, let me ask you this, man, how many years after you ETS'd did you feel like this you do right now?
My life changed in 2023.
Okay. Yeah. So a couple of years you've been doing like this, like.
Yeah. I mean, but when I started this, I was not.
You still weren't there? Or?
No.
Yeah.
It was prior to me going to Save a Warrior. I was, we the original name of, I love to talk about.
So you said Save a Warrior 30 times now. What is that?
Oh, Save a Warrior. We'll talk more about it when we get off camera.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just on Hillsborough High. It's another organization that I would, I
what do they do?
I mean, they change your life. 17
hours
like
change your life. How?
I can't tell you the game. It's a
secret.
It's not a secret. It's just we'll talk more about it.
Yeah.
It's basically, it's just a reframing of the way I look at the world.
And not only just that, that's a community that's there. Like those men I'm talking to, like,
yeah, I get it.
Those guys are connected. I mean, I can
call
get
one
of them.
I think the stronger connection are the guys you were served with, right?
Yeah, but I didn't serve with any people.
That's what I'm saying. Like most nonprofits get strangers together.
But that's what I'm saying. Is and I
think they do great work. I'm not saying anything bad. I promise you.
So
like I'm just saying, like
if I'm talking about where I've got, like, so you've said a couple times that you think I'm thinking differently about stuff. Just had a conversation about this today. All the problems I had in my life and the reason I wanted to eat a bullet had nothing to do with anything I saw downrange. Okay.
Yeah. Just life, right? Like different things.
It had nothing to do with that.
It accumulated.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that goes, say where it deals with complex PTS. There's things that happen to us from the age of 0 to 19, right? That then things that happen to it, formative trauma, developmental trauma, and then the things that happen to us when we're 20 years old.
Yeah.
And to from the first day you turn, 19, I'm sorry.
Sure.
And then to your life. So if you think about yours, it's like your life, you lost your dad when you were 13 years old and you went to war when you were 19 years old.
Right. Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
That's developmental trauma.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
That's developmental trauma.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how those things happen to you is how we start to continue to work our way out into the world. Those things affect us. So that's what I talk about is like, it's easier for people to, it's a lot easier for people to stomach.
I'm just super curious now.
No, I mean, and understand, but they understand.
You have all this knowledge, man. And it's like, give me that. I want that knowledge, right? Like, let me know what you got going on here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
it's just, but it's work, right? It's been
because there's a lot of days I'm miserable, but I tell you what drags me out of it is getting these other guys together.
Yeah, but
like this weekend is so beneficial for me too. Like,
but here's the thing. If you want to talk about that, just something because you keep going back to that. So that's again, like that's a survival.
I just believe it. I believe it.
But it's not that you don't believe it. Listen, it's
I believe
how I have
that
is it is so much easier for me. My entire life was to fix other people. Right. To be worried about
I agree with you. I need to take care of myself. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying, no, I'm just going to help other people screw myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? I agree.
But just as equally as that is like, I'm just like, for example, I'm just as excited and proud of myself that like today I took a cold shower, that I
Why did you do that, dude?
That I read 10 pages and then I did some other things that I do every day.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just as proud of that as when I'm on a call with 15 other guys that I'm talking, or 10 other guys that are with it. Because I have to be my best version of myself. Like, you see, I'm saying, so I can't, these things that are doing, like for me, when I was trying to fix other people, and I use the word fix because that makes people uncomfortable.
No, I get what you're saying.
But also when I was also worried about other people's feelings, what I could do is I could avoid worrying about myself.
100%. Yeah. It's like a mask.
Right.
That makes sense. I see where you're going.
And that's the best thing to do. Because if I'm worried about everybody else here, right. If I'm worried about you four, I can totally flow through what I'm feeling, what I'm going through. So at the end of the day, oh man, I feel really about myself, but I really helped Nate.
Yeah.
Really helped Nate.
Yeah, it helps, really helped Nate,
but it's not. But eventually, it's
not solving anything.
People don't realize it eventually catches up. It starts going. Yeah, but like you and don't get me wrong, you can. I functioned very, very well doing that for 51 years. But a lot of the stuff I was doing that too was to look good.
Yeah.
And to keep the eyes off of me. If I'm doing all these things, I'm helping all these people. It's almost why this podcast. It's interesting how this started. Like it's Pours with Patriots. Somebody might have saw me. I had a tiny little bit of whiskey. Thank you, Nate. But I rarely drink on the podcast anymore. In the very beginning, if you go to the very beginning of the episodes,
that's what it was about.
I was drinking.
Yeah, you're drinking.
Well, it wasn't about. It was about. I had to drink to start talking about my feelings.
That's how I used to be. Yeah.
Right. So I also think too. I had it originally when I started. This was like. I also had that too. That in the beginning it was like, oh man, that's the easiest way for us to connect. But in reality, that's why I needed to do it, is because I needed alcohol for me to start feeling. These guys knew this, right? These guys have got many drunk calls from me, telling them how much I love them, right? I mean, all these kind of, like, people have gotten that. Like I've gone through Rolodexes after I've had a half a bottle of whiskey, just calling people because that now I can tell you how I feel. Yeah. Right. I can connect.
That's what I used to do all the time.
Right. So that's what I needed before. Now I don't need that. Right. So if and we've talked about, like, we had to talk about the board much, but like I rattled on my head, do I change it? Because we rarely drink anymore. We used to feature whiskey. I've had people. I've had people that are like, oh, we don't talk about whiskey anymore. I'm done listening to it. Cool. I'm glad you could. I'm
Right.
Thank you for how long you listen, but I'm not changing that. But the fact matters, if I'm still understanding that if you have to drink right now to, I'm not doing that, but somebody does have to get to where we have a conversation, I'm okay with that. Because I was at that point in my life.
Absolutely.
I was at that point in my life. So like this whole thing about fixing, or being outwardly, like I just have it now. I have to meet people, have to be the best version of myself.
Yeah.
And by being the best version of myself, that's selfish. Like I have things that I have to do for myself. I have bound that, right? Like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I need to work on myself. I'm the open book. I'm in the 12th codependency. I'm on how many days a day, but like my codependency meeting every week is non-negotiable.
Yeah. You got
There's nothing that's gonna bump that out.
Yeah.
Right. And if I miss that, I just get on an online call. Right. I just jump on a call. Yeah. Right. Because I need that. Right. If I'm worried about all these other people I work with, and do this work and have this wisdom or whatever you want to call it, or just doing all this, talking and telling, how I have things, like the reality is if I don't deal with that every day, right. If I don't address that at least once a week, and I'm staying in my, what my, it's like being an alcoholic, my codependency is unmanageable. Right. It's something I can't manage, right. Without the help of a higher power.
So you found a support system to help with that, right?
but it's something I have to be. Yes, I have to, but it's for me.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying? Like if I have to stay grounded, I have to stay grounded in all the things I'm doing. And that's the reality.
That's what I'm saying. Like a support system, right? Like I understand it's for you. You're not going here to help the other peoples in this group.
No, I mean,
right?
I know I do. I mean, I heal by helping other people too. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm healed. Like, believe it or not, this may seem like somebody may be listening to this and be like, oh my gosh, this is, Shay may be lecturing or putting him on the spot, but I'm healing in myself and hearing these same things. Like I'm able to ask these questions because I feel the same thing you feel.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it, dude. I don't take any offense whatsoever. But I'm just saying that's what it is. So I'm healing in the whole process too. Every time, like that's what I learned before. I thought this whole time, with Ports and Patriots, is that like every time I was talking to someone, that I'm helping them heal. Well, I can't tell you what episode it was, but it happened where, holy shit, having this conversation with you has helped me heal and help me get to be where I'm at, where I'm at now as a man and where I'm at, as a host of this show. I think it's so hard to be honest with yourself, right? It's so easy to make excuses. Yeah. So easy. Well, this is why I do this. This is why I do that. Instead of being like, all right, dude, well, what's the root cause of it? Like what? You know what I mean? Yeah, but I think that's where you were going with me.
Yeah, like, and that's what it is. Like, that's what you can't, and I'm not, we can talk more about it. I think this, that Save a Warrior might be a good stop.
You got me super curious about it, man. I don't know. But it changed my life. It's changing people's life. I believe in a support system.
It's also one of those.
And I'm not talking about. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and one of the things about Save a Warrior is, I'm an ambassador there as well. That's why I talk about it a lot. Is it not only did it save my life, but the important thing about it is you brought it up, and I think it's a key thing that a lot of people don't understand is like it's non-transactional.
Okay.
Right. So, Warrior Ridge is non-transactional, right? Like they're not trying to sell you a T-shirt. There's no money you have to pay.
It doesn't cost them a penny.
And I'm not against that, but there's something to be said for me personally. I had this conversation about back in time, Save a Warrior costs this much. Yeah. How much would you pay? Well, and I have a number in my head that I would have paid. Right. And it isn't as high as you think. Yeah. If I had a number to pay right now, it's priceless. Yeah. But that's the key is that, like, I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this because I'm starting to get emotional, but Jay Clark, the founder, hit it out of the park. You said earlier that you think Warrior Ridge is the greatest thing else. I'm going to argue that we can get. No, it's not. But
maybe it's two different. Well, something I
clearly
think it's not the same program, right?
That is changing the world. It changed my life, and it's just. And the key thing about it is that key of non-transactional, and that's the key thing is because that's the things. There's a ton of organizations out there. Yeah. I'm not shitting on them.
A real struggling vet can't pay to go.
No, I mean, but they are though
because they're getting ready to be homeless.
But you'd be surprised they can. There's tons of people that are doing really well. There's a lot of organizations that you can get the money.
Oh yeah, for sure. But there's so many organizations that you have to pay your own way, right?
No, that's what I'm saying is even paying your own way, you can get the money.
So like, just like what I'm saying, like, okay. And so I run a nonprofit. I have no idea who would give me the money to go to one of these nonprofits. And I run a nonprofit. You see what I mean?
By that is like, I think
so how do you get,
there's grants to do. Like, I mean, there's grants that can get.
And how hard is that?
There's
like a dude that's an alcoholic and a dude that's getting ready to be homeless. Is he? Oh, let me go. Let me go write this grant up real quick.
You're talking about that level, but I'm just talking about there's other levels of it where like
I'm talking about
there are organizations that are there to raising money to feed into
there's awesome organizations. I'm not trying to talk bad about anybody, dude.
Yeah.
I'm saying like, let's be real, right? Like if I got to pay, okay, so I got a call one day and I don't mean to say anything. I got a call. Hey man, you got any guys? Like I know this dude, he's got a veteran nonprofit down in the Bahamas, takes some deep sea fishing, everything, bro. I'm like, no shit. Like that sounds awesome. Like, of course I got guys that would want to do that. And then he's like, all right, I'm gonna send you an email with all the information. So the veteran, this is for veterans, struggling vets with PTSD. You pay your phone in ticket to get to the Bahamas, right? Food and stuff. They reimburse up to $600. Now, let's be real. What real struggling veteran in the United States is able to take a vacation to the Bahamas right now? Think about that.
I mean, I was a struggling veteran that had a good job. I could have paid for, but I mean, we're getting into. I think there's a certain level where I think one of the reasons I brought up is like non-transactional thing. I have it is more than just raising the fund. Non-transactional is like, I volunteer there. I don't get paid for anything to go there. Mm-hmm. I have to take vacation days off. We have to talk about that.
We don't get paid. I get it.
So it's non-transactional. So I'm there because like what would make me take, that's what I'm saying. What would make me take my days off, come down here and meet you that I've never met before.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So that non-transactional thing is huge. I think because there are organizations, there are people that do have the money that say, hey, this is really cool. And I have it like the next stop.
But right now, a lot of them you have to pay.
Oh no, yeah, but
right.
Yeah, but
so like the dudes that are really, really bad off, maybe even strung out on drugs, right? Like they can't afford to take shit. It's hard for me to take a vacation, and I'm doing well. You know what I mean?
And I'm not trying to say that any other how it is. It's just for me the key thing was when it doesn't matter what you do. If I'm giving you some money, you expect something.
Well, I mean.
If I give you money, if I'm giving you $1,500, right, you're going to expect something out of it.
Yeah,
and if you don't get what you expect, what's going to happen? You're going to be all pissed off about it.
Exactly.
Right? Like I went there and you oh my God, you told me what I didn't want to hear.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like
and
you're
you
a jerk.
Took my 15. Like,
I get it.
So
yeah,
when
it's
it's
like
non-transactional, when it's non-transactional, like
it's innocent.
There's nothing to reserve. There's nothing to I didn't, it's free for you to come here. If you want to, if you can leave, you can leave. I'm sure that you guys feel the same way. If you want to leave, you can leave.
Yeah.
But I think that was key to me because there's all these organizations that like, they're out there, they're doing well. Like, I don't want to name them because I don't want to get in trouble, but
I get it. Yeah.
There's, like, hey, by the way, that's great. Like, look at their bottom line about how much money is going back to their mission. Or,
exactly.
Hey, I can't give you a t-shirt, but if, but if you get 30,000 followers
and like strength. So this is where I guess we differ a little bit, I guess, is because like strangers, I believe like I said it earlier, anybody that helps a veteran, I love them, man. I support them. I help them, whatever I can do. Strangers, you and I are both veterans. We have that bond, right? We have that bond. We don't have a bond as strong as the dudes that I was there with, though. You see what I mean? Does that make sense? Because
we have absolutely
we're not
different options of it. Yeah,
we're not I'm not a therapist at all. Like I'm not going to say like you've done a lot of, you can tell you've done a lot of research and things and trying to get right. Like I get it. Like a lot of these guys have never had that. They don't even have anybody to push them. Like, hey, dude, like you need to do this. You just see what I mean? And it's like that program sounds awesome. Like I'm super. You got me super interested.
We have the connection of like.
So we're just on a different level is what I'm trying to get at. Like I'm not talking like I'm just saying like we believe in providing that support system right now. So that way at 3:00 in the morning when they have nowhere to go, nobody to turn to because their family's done disowned them and their wife left them. She's with somebody else now, and they just like. Man, it's over. You remember, like you literally are just like, dude, I'm just so tired of dealing with this. Yeah. Right. Now they have people to call right now.
No, I agree.
See what I mean?
I think that there's,
and I love the support system route.
Yeah, that was the second part of when I asked you, like, losing your friends and that support system. Yeah, that happens in military. You go different spaces. Some guys go back. All these things of like implode in your life. Yeah, there's nothing better than to have true. There's nothing better to have true. People that your brothers, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then you're so close.
And it's no one's right or wrong.
We've got to get you reconnected with some dudes.
There's no right or wrong, but in that whole situation is what I'm saying is it's just I dig what you guys are doing. I think it's great.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I know.
I'm not
I don't think that the least little bit, dude. Not at all. And and Save a Warrior, I love that.
Yeah, but like for me,
I'd never, and that's in Hillsboro. It's not even far, dude.
No,
never even heard of it.
Yeah,
like that's crazy.
But there's and what I'm saying is, it's always, if that works, it is, because it is that comfort thing too.
It's like not the end all. It's not like this is all you need.
Yeah.
This is just like, hey, dude, now you have someone. You're not alone anymore. Yeah. You see what I mean?
No, I'm with you.
That's our mission.
Yeah, because that's the three things that for being defective, helpless, and alone. Like as much as I have people around, I always
still may feel alone. Right. Yeah, me too, man. Yeah, but, I know what you're saying.
Like, and the interesting thing about it is, like, Nate doesn't answer my phone much anymore, so I'm giving him a hard time, and he's too busy growing his beard over there. But
he's texting right now.
Yeah, he's over there texting. I don't know what he's not paying attention to me. But Josh is not a service member.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
He's barely older than my oldest son, right?
Yeah.
Both of these guys are. But
that's your boy. That's your
I
support.
can connect with him now.
100%. Yeah.
And that's
well, that's like our vice president as a civilian.
Exactly.
Right?
And that's the power. Like I think getting everybody back, because we do splinter off. We do start to isolate.
Well, we just lose touch. Life happens, right?
Exactly.
I did the same. Yeah. It was 15 years or whatever.
Yeah. Because I think that, it's easier to isolate. It's easy. Like, I know what you're saying. You get the team together.
That bond is unbelievable.
Don't get me wrong. There's guys I can still call, like, I connect with them. Like we can talk. Like, I went back.
I want to get you guys connected there.
I went to military school. Like, so we just went to 2 years ago. Went to my 30 reunion together. Like, when we get together, there's a bond that we.
Like, I went to my high school reunion. It was nowhere near like my reunion with my dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but I mean.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying.
Same thing. I mean, I think you can connect with people if you go back. I'm just saying that whole thing.
Well, like these vet nonprofits that connect strangers, right? Like I'm talking about. Like, that's still awesome, and you're gonna like connect with them on a different level where it's like, dude, I love that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've heard so many people that's went to these different nonprofits. Like, I was offered like a fishing trip to Alaska when I was doing real bad.
Right.
And I remember I was just like, and I guess that's what strikes me in the head too. Cause like I was not interested in that at all. Do I want to go fishing in Alaska? Hell yeah, that'd be awesome, right?
Yeah,
but I wasn't doing well, and I didn't know anybody that was going, and I was like, I don't want to be around a bunch of strangers, dude.
Yeah.
That was just my thought process, though.
I think the same thing is like I've talked about this many times. I mean, you're not the person, hopefully not the last person that comes on that is in the helping veteran phase. Like we're all in this together. It's like a big net we've just thrown everybody else.
And you meet people just like
everybody
this.
Has to keep everybody has to keep the I have it that we're a big net. We're just keeping like I've said before, like
well, we're not. Our mission, like I said, we want these guys together so they have somebody to call. Like, we've had them loan money, like, stuff like, dude, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. Yeah. And they'll pitch together. No problem. In 10 minutes, it's squared away. Right. Because now they have each other again. But they still have to go get themselves right. Like, you're talking to me like, hey, dude, you've got some work to do. Like, I know I do. You know what I mean? I know. And they have to continue their journey. Yeah. It's not just come to our retreat, you're healed. Do you see what I mean? Like, you gotta,
I mean, I think, but that's what I'm saying. It's all these organizations. I think they're great. Like I said before, the number one thing I think of any veteran is and I felt the same way for a long time, if I'm honest with you. And maybe that's why we have like maybe a different, outlook on it, or just a different view. But for the longest time, like, I would not feel comfortable telling him anything because I don't feel like he was worthy of it. He hasn't done the things I've done.
Right.
He's not worth. It's crazy. Like, I mean, you hear that all the time when, like, for example, we start the trauma bond, right? Like, you hear that all the time. Like, you never hear, like, veterans get together at the VFW, you give them some beers, and they'll tell you every fucking thing that's out there. But as soon as they walk out,
a lot of times may not be
true. As soon as they walk out, as soon as they walk out, they don't tell anybody anything.
Sure.
And then they wonder why nobody knows them.
That's so true.
And they feel like nobody
you don't feel
connect.
comfortable.
So like, I get like, anytime you can get people out of isolation. Because believe it or not, I was a social person, but I was isolating hardcore myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I did too. Yeah, still do. Yeah, my therapist still says, "Hey, man, you're being a hermit again. Like, you need to get out of that." I still go through that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's that whole thing of like, you know, and it's I think any organization that's out there that's bringing vets together, and
Awesome.
whatever they're doing, because
Awesome.
it's different, you know,
strategies,
different things for
yeah.
different folks. Like, I mean, like, you know, I'm, you know, going down to Bahamas for a fishing trip sounds fun, but would I want to do that for 3 years?
I would love to go do that.
That's, you know, for that.
I couldn't afford it.
But that works for you. But for me,
that's all I was getting at, right? Yeah.
There's some things that would be, you know, there's different things. I'm glad all those organizations are doing it.
I just want it to be accessible to the worst struggling vet in the nation. Help should be accessible. And it is with the VA. Like, you can go to the VA.
Yeah.
You can. It's accessible. You know, but you know what I'm saying.
Not as much as I need to be, but
I'm not either. I don't do what I'm supposed to. And they get mad at me sometimes, you know, but they really have helped me, dude. They really have.
And so, and I mean, I'm excited about it. So, like, so generally, like, they come back once a year, you said?
Yeah. So that's why we do that, right? Because like a suicidal veteran, now, since we come back once a year, they have something to look forward to for the rest of their life. Okay. They never go home on that Monday or whatever. And they're just like, well, what now? It's like, okay. Well, and then if they're doing real bad, it's like, dude, I only got 3 more months until I get to go back. You just see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that, you know, we've been open 3 years, dude, right? So we're learning as we go. Honestly, I'm just, you know, being honest. Like, everybody wants to act like they have everything figured out, right?
So what's the most powerful thing you see there? That, you know, you mentioned a couple of times that the connection of the guys, but you guys are doing, like, you know, hiking, you're doing kayaking, you're doing the horse stuff. Like, where do you see the biggest impact when you see those guys?
When they go home, man. When they go home, all of them calling me like, dude, we talk every day now.
Yeah.
Think about that. Think about that. Think about feeling completely alone, not having, losing that purpose, right? Like, you in your head, like, you've lost your ultimate purpose when you get out of the military. And then now you have no one that supports you. So we literally, like, provide them, in my opinion, probably one of the greatest support systems they could possibly have, because these guys have already proven they have your back. Do you know what I'm saying? And when they're there, I preach to them. Hey, look, dude, like, just because you took the uniform off, it's still your duty to take care of each other.
Right.
It still is, flat out. Like, and I forgot that. And honestly, like, before Warrior Ridge, dude, I never volunteered for a veteran nonprofit. I never tried to help. I never donated. I never even thought about it. I was chasing money. You know what I'm saying? Chasing money and drinking, dude. So now it's like, looking back, it's like, man, you're a jerk, dude. Like, help out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what I think the most powerful thing is. I preach support systems, dude. If you don't have anybody in your corner, like me, like when I was down and I was suicidal, right? I was like, what do I do? What do I do? Like Ryan, the dude that came and got me, we weren't close. Dude, I hadn't talked to him in a long time. He just happened to, like, pick up the phone and he was just like, bro, I'm on my way. You see what I mean? Yeah. Like, and that's crazy, but I didn't have anybody. Like, who am I going to turn to? Like, what am I going to do? Yeah. You see what I mean?
No, I think, I think anytime, like I've always said before, you know, we use the hashtags, you know, be resilient and be there. And then that's what it talks about, is you gotta, you know, I ultimately, like we said before we got on the air, is that it's definitely, you know, our individual responsibility to get help.
Yeah,
we can't put down anybody, but, you know, there's a lot of power in being able to really listen to other people and you know, understanding when people are not doing well and taking that action. You know what I mean? I think in this space, there's a real life consequence of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Like, and it's happening every day, all day.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, the guest a couple weeks ago, Mike had brought up, you know, asked a question. I like how I said that, because you got to ask the tough questions. Because, like, if you don't ask the tough questions, like, you know, I feel like I gave you some tough ones here today. If you don't, I may never get the chance to ask you that tough question. You know what I mean? So how someone's doing, because you never know what's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, that's kind of how I it's not to, I generally care. I mean, I don't generally, I do care what's going on with that. And it's just a space that, you know, I know that, I wish I had the courage for a long time to tell people, because there were a lot of people, you know, especially my wife, that knew something was wrong. A lot of people saw, like, the same things. That's why I was trying to get them off the hook of, like, you're crazy, or like this. There's just things that people see it, but we couldn't see it ourselves. I thought I had a hole and I didn't. You know what I mean? And it's, you know, I just thought it was normal to walk around and not want to be alive. When you don't care about whether you're alive or, you know, you hope you're dead. You kind of live a pretty shitty life.
Yeah, you wake up and it's like, oh, another day.
I mean, you're present, looking for some other stuff, and then, you know, like, you know, there's, you know, the couple times that I, you know, went a little bit further with it, you know, you just start to be like, man, this isn't how I want to live my life. You know, I mean, something's wrong. This isn't normal.
Yeah.
And, you know, I wish I'd been able to see that earlier, but, you know, I see it now, and it's fine. But, so you talked about in your bio you talked about the recipe to fix veteran suicide. In your mind, what does that look like?
I believe it, dude. It's support systems, man. It's getting the guys back with each other. Like, I swear, like when you're getting shot at, dude, it's like, yeah, man, these are my boys. Like, you just know what I mean? And when you're home, why is it different? Why do you lose touch? Why do you get out and just act like they didn't even exist? Why do you go home alone surrounded by people that have no idea what you went through? How are you going to fix that? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Get them together, dude. Like, get them together. Reconnect as many as you can, dude, because it's working.
Yeah. So you talked about volunteering. If you're a veteran, to volunteer. What else do you have? How else? You know, like, you know, I have, you know, two guys that, you know, aren't veterans here that are in the space of helping veterans, right? You know, what is, you know, what do you think everyday people can do to help with the veteran?
First of all,
crisis?
They need to start caring, right? This is a real thing. This has really happened. I think it's the biggest epidemic in our nation, man. Honestly, like, I just looked up some stats the other day, man, and going off the Department of Defense's numbers, right? Or Department of War now. Like, we're losing just as many people every year here in the United States as we did in 20 years of Iraq and Afghanistan. You know this. I'm sure you know this, right? So it's like, why do people don't even know about that? They don't even know. I've told so many people that, and they're like, dude, what? Like, what do you mean? And I'm like, yeah, dude, look it up. Like, and I think it's much higher than that. But I can't prove that, right? You know the debate on the suicide rate every day.
Yeah,
right? Like, you can't. How are you going to be definitive answer? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, I think it's much higher. Like, I hear they don't count overdoses and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So I just, you know, man, like, that's something majorly wrong. Like, we fought two different countries for 20 years. Like, you know, the fighting didn't really last all 20 years. You know what I'm saying? But that's what we say, 20-year war. So we lost, like, how in 20 years are we losing the same amount we lose every 12 months here at home? Like, tell me, you can't say there's nothing wrong there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then how do Americans not even know that that's happening?
Well, I think they know it's happening.
I don't think a lot of them know.
I don't know about that one. I think there's a lot of, you know, if you say 22.
Yeah, I think people, but they don't even know what they don't even know. Like,
well, I mean, I think it's, you know, when I wrote that question, I was kind of thinking of, you know, because
if they know, they don't care. A lot of them, right?
Well, this is a difficult thing to talk about, right?
It is.
Like, I mean, I don't know.
I'm a little aggressive.
I don't know if don't care means anything, but because it also starts from the very beginning. It's like,
talk is cheap. You can say you care all you want until you start taking actions. You don't care.
But I could also say that too. If I'm struggling, I could also say that, like, if I don't talk about how I'm feeling, then I can act, you know, nobody cares, right?
But you going out and talking is you taking action and doing something about it.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Just saying, I think it's
like telling somebody the suicide rate, and they said, man, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Like, that's awful. I want to do something. Like, I want to help, and then they don't, right?
Yeah,
like,
but I mean, I think this is an interesting thing, because it's why I'm in this space now. It's always, you know, it's like I asked the question, and I'll ask in a different way too about it, but, you know, I think it ties into the same thing. It's like I ask everybody that comes on it, because I'm not a mental health professional.
Me neither. At all,
you know, I think we've had one or two that were on, but what is working and what's, you know, it isn't working. So right. Like, to say that, like, I just feel like when I had that question more in my mind, I was, you know, I guess I was kind of asking myself that too, because I put some of these in there, is I don't think you have to be a veteran to help a veteran through a crisis.
I don't either. Most of our volunteers,
because I have it that everything that's going on in this world, the mental health crisis, we just happen to be leading at the tip of the spear of it, that we shouldn't do, but there's still
many, dude.
Yeah, just in Ohio here, you know, just around here, you know, a son committed suicide, and then the father, like 3 years later,
kids,
you know, who's a veteran, committed suicide. So I think, you know, it's a touchy subject that people don't want to talk about, but I think it's very important. It's like, I'm going to steal what Mike said a couple weeks ago, is like, ask the tough questions, because that's the problem. I think,
that's why I bring it up.
And I think a lot of people, because it's how we are, is like, you don't know how I'm feeling because you didn't go to war. That's
not true. Yeah, I agree.
And that's why that's the point. That's bullshit.
I agree. Most of our volunteers are civilians.
Yeah,
right?
And there's a healing through that.
100%. They're greatest people. Like, it's like they actually care.
Yeah.
And they didn't even they don't even know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that I have more respect for that even. Like,
I think a lot of it is like, you know, is just getting, everybody has to really, you know,
you got to
ask the tough questions, and you got to really, you know, you got to be looking out to what's going on, and not shy away from, when it's uncomfortable, because because when it happens, it's too late. You can't go back, obviously. But these things are happening. Like, people got to really be looking out. And like I said before, it always starts for me is like, all my struggles could have helped if I had just been honest how I was feeling, and I'd been open.
It's so hard to do.
Yeah, but it's, dude, I mean, it's so here's the alternate, dude. You're miserable, and you want to kill yourself, or you kill yourself. That's the option. So it's hard, but you know what? That's
I was super embarrassed and like hit it for years, man. Like,
but that's the thing of all these things we've talked about, like all these, it's just I'm not busting your balls, but it's a story, right? It's so hard. Like, yeah, dude, that's great. So is so is getting through your third DUI, your fourth marriage, not seeing your kids, you know what I mean? Yeah. Being bankrupt, being homeless.
But being honest with yourself, right?
Yeah, but like I think we have to.
Like extremely hard to do, I think. Like, because you got to reach that point where you're like healed enough to understand it. You got to reach that point where you're just like, dude, like, I'm doing this. Like, I'm the one that's ruining all this. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's, I think it's becoming self-aware. I mean, it's not, there's some things that, I mean, it's a deep conversation.
It is, but
I think a lot of it just comes to like being able to, you did say it. I'm glad you said it.
To be like self-aware.
Everything
it's like, it takes a lot of work to become self-aware.
Yeah, I'm responsible for all my actions.
We are. Yeah, absolutely. Dude.
Like if you, like I said before, I can go upstairs. My wife can say something to me. How I react,
it's up to you.
It's 100% on me.
Yeah.
But in society, it's not that way.
It's not.
How did my wife say that to me? Because do you understand that I was down there doing
PTSD and this,
I do this kind of stuff, and that's where we live our life. And it's not just veterans; it's everybody's doing
I agree, dude.
So once you're self-aware that you're causing your own
destruction,
your own pain,
for sure,
right?
Yeah.
Like, and nobody makes me feel a certain way.
100%, dude.
Right? 100%. You ever see that? Like, you make me feel this way, or if only you had done what I told you to do,
it's your fault.
Everything would be great.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, all this kind of thing. So I think it's we
got to be real.
I think it's a lot easier to deal with the realm I'm in now than it was before, where I wanted to not live. So,
absolutely.
We hit a couple hours now. So anything else you want to chat about? I mean, the one thing I did want to hit on real quick is you did talk about you talked briefly about your daughter, but you did mention in the bio that you consider her to be what kind of kept you.
Oh yeah, dude. Like,
kept you from, taking your life. So
100%,
do you want to elaborate more on that?
Yeah, man. She's the most important thing ever. And I thought about how bad I hurt when Dad passed. And then I thought, what the fuck are you doing, dude? You know what I'm saying? Honestly, like, I couldn't do that to her. Now I know that.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? But before I think I was just so tired, man. I know I keep saying, like, you just get so tired, but it was just like, I think I just reached that point where I had no money, had nowhere to go, didn't have a support system, didn't have anything. What am I looking forward to? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then finally it was just like, dude, like, this is like, you don't even want to be here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that helped, having her. And it was just like, wow, like, she's a godsend for me, man.
Have you told her how much she means to you?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. She's awesome. I don't think she really understands yet. She's 15, you know what I mean? I mean, she's mature, right?
A 15-year-old girl, that's a tough.
Oh, dude, yeah. Sometimes I'll be like, I'll holler, like, hey, Livy, like, you want a snack or something? And she'll be like, whatever, Dad. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I just offered you a snack. You know what I mean? Like, but no, she's a really good kid, man. And that's like, that definitely helped me still be here and keep driving, man. Because it's a drive, dude. It's a push. You never give up. You just got to keep going, man. But it's like, don't make excuses. Just, definitely ask for help 100%. Certain things help others better than others, I think. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe that with all my heart. Yeah. This may work for me, great, and it may not work for you, right? Like, I believe that, like, because we're all different, right? None of us are the same.
So you've been serving the world a little bit in your country for a little bit. So as I think I know the answer, but when you look back at your life, service, whether it's in the military or, what you're doing now with Warrior Ridge, what are you most proud of?
Like, ever? Like, what am I the most proud of in my life?
I mean, it was as far as, when it comes to service, your life of service, what do you?
Right now. Yeah. Cause like even deployment, I thought we could have done way more than what we did. Right. Honestly, like, I know it probably sounds stupid. Like, the guys on my team, great dudes. Like, I think we did a phenomenal job. I think we had a great team. But it's just like, dude, what are we doing? Like, what? Do you ever remember that? Like walking around, like, what are we doing right now? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like, so you know what I'm talking about? Like, it's like, well, you were an officer,
like
so like me, like I was like a young dude. So,
yeah, I know what it was. It was like, what the fuck are these guys?
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell is that dumbass officer doing up there? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's funny to me. Like, I think a lot of people, like, you know, that's a tough question. That's why I ask people.
I think Warrior Ridge is the most thing I'm proud of. Yeah. Besides my daughter, obviously.
Yeah, that's what when it comes to service, that's the same thing too. Is I look at like, you know,
what you're doing is awesome, dude. Like I didn't know, like you're doing, like you're helping these kids, dude. So they're going through things that I went through. My dad didn't commit suicide.
Yeah.
But it's like they're losing their parent, right?
Yeah. And yeah, I mean,
like, that is some, and just to know that people are there for you and stuff, especially at that age and stuff, it's just like, wow, man.
Yeah, it's I mean, there's a lot of stuff that, I mean, I just, you know, now that I like, you know, I'm blessed to have been able to find my purpose. And I mean,
I feel the same too. And religion has helped me out tremendously.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not, I, you know, through that's one of the things interesting about me is I do now, you know, believe in a higher power. I always have, but now I have a good relationship with my higher power.
That's so I'm getting better, right? I'm new. I'm pretty new. I'm a year in or so. You know what I mean? Always believed, but never lived it.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah, mine was more of like now when you talk, it's the higher power thing is more of just like, again, one of the things of being a codependent is that we sometimes think we're God. Mm-hmm. And we have everything figured out, and why can't you do this kind of stuff? So there's a lot of stuff I lived for 51 lives thinking I was God, and then when I didn't, you know, like I had it all figured out, and then when I think on my way, and there's a lot of anger I had towards it because, like, you know, the perception of what, you know, a higher power meant was
why did this happen?
Yeah, but it was also other thing too. Is like if you look at how, you know, how I had my relationship with the higher power was it was a vindictive thing. Like I knew that when you talk about how religion works is like if you do bad things, that means you're a bad person and bad things are gonna happen to you.
Right.
So that was the whole thing of like, if you know, and then you started thinking like, you know, my higher power is supposed to be looking out for me and all this kind of stuff. How did he make me do he made me this way? So now with my higher power, I just have it that. You know, I'm my higher power is the one running the show. My power, I agree. My higher power made me for who I am.
So, like for example,
and that's it.
For example, I bought a truck last Friday. Monday morning, I was chaperoning a school field trip to the zoo with my daughter. Smoked a deer on the highway. Bought the truck Friday, wrecked it Monday. Right. So before I'd have been punching my steering wheel, kicking my dash, or you know what I'm saying, throwing a temper tantrum, like acting ridiculous. But this time it was like, okay, what lesson is this supposed to teach me? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's helped me out tremendously.
I'm joking.
Yeah, you see what I mean though? You see what I mean?
It's expensive. You should have bought that.
It's like dude, it was like a 2012. Like that's what I'm trying to do. The opposite. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You're like, do not buy a new truck.
No, do not.
But I just think it's but that's the thing is like turning over my will and knowing that I can't figure it out and that relationship that's like my most important relationship now, and I'm not a like go to church guy, but I can still be spiritual and I can have that 100% connection with them. And I just know that now that relationship, you know, my higher power loves me for who I am, so therefore I can love myself for who I am. And I can stop.
And look at what you're doing, dude. Like, I
appreciate that.
Doing God's work. People have told me that.
Team. I've got a good team here, so
people tell me that you're doing God's work.
Some are here more than others.
He didn't even hear you. He's still texting, dude.
No, he 100% hears me. He's like over there. He smiled. He 100% heard me. Yes. No.
He's just texting over there. No,
he's over there. He's
playing Brick Breaker.
No, he's actually working. This is his prime work time.
He's gonna be mad at me.
He's securing loads over there. Is that
what he's doing? Doing loads.
He's securing loads over there.
Oh, loads.
For a break-in, or he's either, if I'm looking at him right now, either he's doing work for his company, he's either trying to do some type of AI to make his life even easier, or he could be booking a trip, or he could be researching his newest hobby, which could be anything that you can imagine. So I haven't seen him in about a month, so I'm waiting to hear what his new hobby is. Like his hobby is having hobbies.
He's super. What is it?
Microgreens.
Microgreens. Yeah, I've heard about it. Yeah. I've heard about the microgreens.
We're not even talking about it.
You're right. We've got some land down in Kentucky.
I got it. Like we're running up. I just got to say it because he hasn't been. He's had some of the worst hobbies you can ever imagine. Like I mean that. Like,
now I know as a friend, you got to be
like, what the hell is he talking about? Like one was mushrooms. like mushrooms.
Like psychedelics.
Like he was growing mushrooms. like
morel mushrooms,
cooking mushrooms. And Then, I mean, he had that. He had buying in bulk. Right. He had, now the newest thing, he's in a mustard club. He's like leading some mustard club.
There's a mustard club?
He actually had two hobbies that were like, the bourbon thing is how we met. I'm benefiting from that hobby still sometimes, but he's had buying in bulk. Like he buys, like he's done that. And then the number one thing that he needs to get back on, and a lot of our friends need to tell him, is he was dry aging meat. Oh, and that was the greatest hobby he ever had, because he was dry aging it. So if he would have come over tonight, he would be grilling, Wagyu that's like 40 days dry aged. I don't know. We need to get him back on that.
Yeah, so, that's a good idea.
Hopefully that's what he's researching. I know we digress in this podcast, but we're gonna talk about Nate in a while. So that's what he's doing. I know he's over there.
I had a good
doing
time.
One of those 5 things.
I did, yeah.
So sorry, Nate.
Yeah. He's so handsome too.
That's really give him a hard time over there about something. So
very handsome.
Anything else you want to chat? This is we're winding down here. Man, anything else you want to tell about your story?
Not a whole lot, dude. Just I guess biggest thing is like I appreciate this opportunity, man, and I mean that. I'm not just saying that. Like it's a big deal, dude. Like it's a big deal. Like networking, getting people together. There might be resources we have that you may not, and vice versa, right? Like you just never know, man. Anytime Warrior Ridge can step up and do anything to help a vet that you guys know, and maybe somebody that's beneficial, let us know, dude.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
We're looking for new teams, you know what I mean? And it's really the dudes that are alone. Like some guys, some guys are doing great. They come to the Ridge. Yeah. You see what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's, important.
Yeah. Some guys are doing great, but some guys aren't. So it's like, I think a lot of it boils down to a support system. And maybe that goes back to my story, man, from the time my dad passed, right? Like maybe I didn't have the best support system, right? Yep. And maybe I'm finally realizing like, dude, like kind of got to a point where I was just like really alone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
gotcha.
Like, so I believe I can't preach support systems enough, dude. And I think we need them. And I think that false hope is a big problem that we have.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're going to be fine. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. Like, go here, do that. And then you go home and you're just like, well, I'm in the same exact boat I was in before I left. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think I've heard that a lot from guys, so I think that's a big problem, but yeah, no, man. I mean, I appreciate it. I think you covered it really well, dude.
Yeah. And I appreciate coming on. It's really humbling to know that, you came 2.5 hours to
I wouldn't have missed it, dude.
I mean, I'm very humbled by that.
Yeah.
And it means a lot to make the trip. I know that's not easy. I mean, a lot of the guys are local.
Yeah, well, we have a team of Marines right now coming in too. So I'm a little worried about the Ridge right now. We didn't bolt everything down before I left, so they'll
be safe. They'll do something themselves before they do anything.
But what a cool team, right?
Yeah,
like they were awesome. They were the 3rd Light Armor Reconnaissance guys.
Awesome.
So really cool team.
Good luck to those guys that are down there.
Can't wait to see them, man.
And thank you for what you're doing for the veterans. Thank you for what your team's doing.
You too, brother.
Great.
It's the team, dude. Like honestly,
I think no matter what we do, and as long as we're all we're on the same direction, we can help each other. And I think that's ultimately what it is. Dude. There's no right or wrong way to do this. So,
and I will throw in saying, I support the troops. Yeah. It's not enough anymore, man.
Yeah,
got to do something about it. Like if you do it, don't say it unless you do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean it. I think that's become just as simple as thank you nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, man. Like you see what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you too. I think we got to help ourselves too. And I think that's a lot of the stuff.
We definitely have to work on ourselves. But like if we had more people like you out there preaching that.
I don't know if you need more of me.
But I mean, seriously, think about that, dude. Like think about that. Like we do have to work on ourselves, absolutely. But like a dude that's hurting so bad, raging alcoholic, maybe doing heroin, whatever.
Yeah.
He in his mind right now, he is not thinking I need to better myself. He's thinking I'm going to do this to mask this. But if there's more volunteers out there and more people that are doing well that know the way, they need to get out there and they need to start working, man. Yeah. We need more out there pushing for sure.
I think just general caring for everybody else's
civilians and everybody.
The whole world would be a better place.
Dude. 1,000,000%, dude. It's easy.
Well, again, thanks for coming. Thanks for your service to the country. Thanks for what you're still doing for veterans now.
You too.
Hope I can get a chance to come down there and check the place out.
Yeah.
But tonight we're gonna move into the part I hate most. Always brings me the most anguish or anger. A bunch of things come up whenever I have to research things. Tonight we're gonna honor a veteran who unfortunately took their life. Tonight we honor U.S. Navy Senior Chief Petty Officer SEAL Andrew Craig Honeyman, 39 years old. Andrew took his life on April 12, 2026 in Washington, D.C. Andrew was born December 13th, 1986 in Portland, Oregon. After graduating from high school, Andrew enlisted in the United States Navy to become a SEAL and received his trident in 2007.
Andrew was assigned to SEAL Team 6 in San Diego, California, and deployed numerous times to Iraq, Afghanistan, Yemen, and Africa. Following his team time at Team 5 and a brief assignment as a BUDS instructor, Andrew was selected as a member of the Navy Special Warfare Development Group. Andrew served most of the remainder of his military career in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Andrew was a highly decorated operator, receiving numerous commendations and medals, including 3 Bronze Stars with Combat Valor. Andrew was known for his humility and would not advertise his heroic actions and disclose the nature of his combat experience. Andrew retired from the military in 2025, and at the time of his death, he was a graduate student at Georgetown University in Washington, D.C. Andrew is survived by his parents, Craig and Susan, brother Kevin, daughter Caitlin, girlfriend Nadia, and numerous other relatives, teammates, and friends. And please, if you or someone you know is in crisis and might be considering suicide, please contact the Veterans Crisis Line at 988 or at 1-800-273-8255 and press 1 or text 838-255, or you can now chat online at veteranscrisisline.net/chat.
Man, yeah.
Yeah, so that's all I say when we're talking about it. It's kind of an interesting
real deal
guys
hero,
that are
man.
like, well, just guys that seem to have their life figured out, and it's like I don't think anybody thought if you talk about the community that he was gonna to do that. So
right, and that's
that's always important.
Jeez, oh Pete, man, what a real hero, like for real, yeah.
Yep, and have a couple quotes. One with from Joseph Galloway. They were soldiers. Said, "We who have seen war will never stop seeing it. In the silence of the night, we will always hear the screams. So it is our story, for we were soldiers once and young." And I did want to end one with a little more of a transformational quote. This is from Werner Erhard. It says, "You and I possess within ourselves at every moment of our lives and under all circumstances the power to transform the quality of our lives."
Yeah,
and that's something I try to live by every day. So. Yeah. But I do want to, again, thank you for coming in for episode 95. I think Josh can pull up the schedule. We're looking pretty good. We got everybody coming. Next podcast will be a big one. One of my recruits is coming in from when I was in military school, so I can't wait to hear some of those, what he remembers.
That'll be cool, man. Yeah, absolutely.
He brought his brother-in-law here a couple months, but Sean will be coming in. And again, we're booked out. If you are interested in coming on, please get with us. We'll definitely
for sure.
We'll work with you, but we're looking pretty good. We're looking to fill one more slot here up until September. I do want to thank everybody for listening. I want to thank you again one more time for making the trip for 2.5 hours.
Thank you.
I want to thank Nate for finally coming and supporting the podcast. I'm kidding, but we'll see everybody in a couple weeks. I love you guys. Remember, be kind to yourself. Respect veterans, and we'll see you guys in a couple weeks.